beautiful individuals. Oh my god, this is not the radio station that I wanted, but that's fine. It's alright. So I'll just talk over it. I'll just talk over it until such a time as I can change it over, because this is like synthwavy stuff, and as much as I love synthwave, I'm not in the mood for synthwave. I want something a little bit different. How are we all doing? How's it going, you exquisite individuals, you beautiful specimens of humankind, you happy-go-lucky scamps of human beings? It is I, Van Vane, in a very dark room. I feel like my room is getting darker and darker as time goes on, which is very unnerving to me. Very unnerving to me indeed, because I don't know. I don't know what I did before that made it look lighter, other than, you know, daylight. Other than that cheeky little number, that cheeky little thing, you know what I mean? How's it going, Chris Zink? Hello, Decimate. How you doing, you beautiful being? Shade Secrets. Hello, you glorious being. Good old DVD screensaver. Oh yeah, I had to. We've had all these really interesting, intricate, swirly, peculiar screensavers recently. Oop, cheeky. Screensavers recently. And I was like, no, I have to know whether I can do it with the DVD screensaver as well. It had to happen at one point. It had to happen at one point. Just cause. Do you know what I mean? How's it going, J2? How you doing? Yes, the intro song today was the latest single from Green Lung. It literally came out like 2 weeks ago. I didn't even realize, but it came out like 2 weeks ago, and it was just like, fucking hell, this is amazing. Do you know what I mean? Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Bit gruffer than usual. Do you know what I mean? How's it going, Rick Sky? How you doing this time? It is this time, indeed. Which time? This time? Huh? What? What did I say? Did I say something else? How's it going, Tazooks? How you doing, you beautiful being? Rough morning already? That's all right. The great thing about a rough morning, Decimet, the great thing about a rough morning is it can always get better. It can always get better. Some of the greatest days I've ever had started with a rough morning. Started with a rough morning, you know. What's the difference between this time and, oh, the light? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I genuinely am a little confused as to why everything is so dark. I don't remember having too many more lights than I currently do. Like, basically, every single time we do, like, I do an event, a Meatbag World event, a real event, real world event, anyway. Although this is the real world. I hate saying real world. Meatbag World event, yeah. I take all of the lights out of my entire fucking house in order to fill a venue. So I can never remember which ones need to go back where. You need to take a photo of them at some point. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? How's it going? The product's going. Hello. Bulb of Light still waiting for the DVD logo to hit the edge. I mean, it doesn't. I have spent many an hour. Well, I say I mean, my friends, when extremely stoned, I've spent many an hour watching the DVD sign and to find out whether it ever actually hits the corner. And it doesn't. Or to them it didn't. Maybe they fell asleep. Who knows? Do you know what I mean? You show up at this time. I do show up at this time. This is the time that I usually show up on a Thursday. On a Thursday, you know? How's it going, Jenna Miss Joy? Hello, you beautiful bean. Hello, you. I've had so many cups of tea today, friends. I had so many cups of tea. Today I had to get up and go. Today I woke up and I was like, ping. Like honestly, my brain was like, ping. It's time to get the fuck up, Val. It's time to get the fuck up. And I sat up and my body went, I want to stay in bed. And my brain was like, no, you have to get up. You have to get up and do the things. There's so many things that need doing. You need to get up now. And my body was like, oh, but I really don't want to. I had such a weird juxtaposition between where my brain was wanting to do and what my body was wanting to do. And I was just like, this is bad. It was a pain in the ass, but it was good. It was all right. I ended up doing a whole load of video editing today for tomorrow's video on the YouTubes. And I did an interview for a podcast that's coming out the end of next month. End of next month. There's a podcast. I won't tell you what it's called yet because they haven't announced me yet. But they're great people. I had a wonderful talk today. Meant to last about an hour. Ended up lasting about an hour and a half because I know how to chat shit. But there's this podcast run by these two wonderful individuals. And they were doing a sex education series. Like, they seem to have like different series in their podcasts, and they spoke to a whole lot of different people, and then they wanted to finish on me. So yeah, we had a great talk today. We had a really good chat, and they've asked me to come back some point in the future to talk to them again. So we'll see if that happens. It was a great conversation, great stuff, but it was one of those things that the more I talked, the more I realized that there was too much information to give over in one hour. Do you know what I mean? Even in one podcast, there's so much. They were asking lots. I think they only ended up asking about 3 questions or 4 questions, just because I ended up talking about a lot about the various different things of life. You know, it was good though. It was really, really good. I'm looking forward to it coming out because I can't remember what the fuck I said. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Little black dress. Hello, you beautiful bean. I mean, need an injection of unfailing positivity. So I came in. Well, that is it. I can't say it's ever unfailing, but I'm saying that we are always definitely very positive. Even in the worst scenario, every cloud has a silver lining. That cheeky, cheeky little silver lining. We love the silver lining. Might be the tiniest silver lining you've ever done seen, but it's always there. Always there. You know? Ginger Bay Lioness, hell, you beautiful bean. Just hit to listen and like before bed. Tazooks, you take your time. You take your time, beautiful bean. You take your time. As you may have guessed from the stream title, I am going to be talking about stuff that's coming up next month, and asking your opinions on some things. I've got some ideas, some plannings, some bits and pieces going on in my brain pan that I would like to talk about. Yeah, there's stuff. There's stuff that I am planning and scheming. Naturally, always planning and scheming. It's the only way I know how to do stuff. Do you know what I mean? How's it going, Bex? Not naughty BSL. How you doing, you beautiful bean? Use color sticky tape and code them by red, yellow, etc. With the lights, it helps loads. I've done that before, but the problem isn't like my lights are coded for the events that I do. They are not coded for the studio space. And it's more down to the fact that I know that I always have like my big light up here, my ring light down there, and that's all I remember. And I think it's because the other ones like rotate around and stuff, like depending on what it is I'm doing in the room. If I'm out and about doing stuff back there, like when we did the Invisible fashion show and stuff, like that was all rounded about doing bits and pieces. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I need far more light for that in order to maintain invisibility. Maintain invisibility, you know? What tea are you drinking tonight? Yorkshire. I've had so much Yorkshire tea today. I have been pissing like a racehorse. Been absolutely fucking pissing so much today. Because tea is a slight diuretic. So I've just ended up like drinking lots of tea in order to keep me fucking going and stuff. And then it's just been like, oh, by the way, it's not happening. Let me turn the bot back on because I always feel like refreshing the bot at the beginning of the stream, just to be 100% sure that it's going to work and look glorious and what have you. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Sounds like a super productive day. To be fair, Desmate, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I've been trying desperately to concentrate on I'm trying to put a whole load of effort into the Thurston and Vanity YouTube channel, because the VODs YouTube channel is great because it's just VODs. Like I just export them over. It's minimum effort, and like I don't expect the VODs YouTube channel to really go anywhere. It's just nice to have for people that like to check out my VODs and stuff like that. So they're all just like scheduled to go out over the next month or so. But the words. Oh yeah, the Thurston Vanity channel is the one that I'm really like. That is the top of my priority list at the moment. Unfortunately, I am not a video editor, and I don't have the money to hire a video editor. Therefore, I am doing video editing, but it is taking a real long time. It's taken a real long time. I have no doubt that there are video editors out there that could do everything that I'm doing in like a quarter of the time that I'm doing it, but I just don't have the money at the moment. At the moment, I don't have the money to fucking pay them, you know? I cannot wait. I genuinely cannot wait for a point where I can afford to pay an editor, because I'll just be like, do this stuff, and they'll be like, cool, it's all done, and then I'm like, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about it. This is great. This is fantastic, you know? He'll just open up so much time to do other activities, you know? You know? You know? They wanted to finish on you. I hope that was consensual. What can I say, Shade Secrets? What can I say? Sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. Do you know what I mean? You've got to go with the flow. How's it going, Zero? How you doing, you beautiful bean? with you then is why not leave a small strip of tape of numbers, then numbers to lights? That's so much organization, J2. The thing is that I go through phases of going, right, I'm going to get really organized, get super fucking organized, and then forget the organization side of things. There's so many things. What I really need to do is just get like a setup of the thing, like a digital setup, and be like, right, where are all my lights at? Then there's stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do this, and never do. Never do. What's Yorkshire tea made of? Yorkshire, yeah, exactly. Oh, Roxanne, Yorkshireness. I actually don't know. I know that basically Yorkshire tea is brewed. It's a blend of tea leaves that is specifically designed for Yorkshire water, because water in Yorkshire is like harder water than everywhere else. It's got a lot more like limescale and like chalk residue shit in it. Do you know what I mean? But as a result, it makes like the tea taste fucking amazing. I mean, Yorkshire tea is good everywhere, but Yorkshire tea is amazing in Yorkshire. It really is. I don't know what it is that they do, but it's just fucking fantastic. Just absolutely fucking fantastic, you know? Could Chunk help you with the video editing? He could. Chunk's currently out at doing a Red Dwarf quiz this evening. And Chunk is great. Chunk's helped me with video editing before. He has helped me with video editing before. The reason that I am hesitant to like ask him is because I haven't. First things first, like a big issue with me is I haven't worked out how is the best way for me to get stuff to him, and like get it over to him and let him edit it, and also work out that sort of first draft section of things that I like, things that I don't like, that kind of stuff. And secondly, Chunk is an absolutely amazing human being who I love very, very dearly. One of my closest fucking friends. But Chunk does go through, like, he's going through an awful lot of shit. And he has his great days and he has his good weeks, and they are absolutely fantastic. And then he has his bad days and he has his bad weeks. And anybody here who struggles with mental health will know all about it. And Chunk is very, very open about his mental health, so I'm happy to talk about it. And the one thing that I really don't ever want to be doing is relying on somebody, not even relying on somebody, putting the pressure on somebody when I have a deadline and they're having a really shit time of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely would fucking hate to like make somebody's life worse because they are struggling in that time. And at the moment, like, Chunk's good days are getting, there are more and more good days, which is great, which is fucking amazing to see. But as anybody who struggles with mental health knows, that there are always bad days. There are always bad days, and I don't, like I said, I don't want to add that pressure to him. Like, what I might end up doing is I might end up like sending him videos that I want to release in like a month or two's time. So send him videos and be like, right, I'm going to release this in a month. And then that gives the, like, loads of leeway for him to, like, have his good days, have his bad days, that kind of thing, you know? You know, does that make sense? Because I love Chunk, and Chunk's good at video editing. I genuinely would use him and what have you, but I just don't want to add that pressure to him when he's got enough stuff on his plate already. You know? Ginger Bay Lioness, come here, cheeky devil. Come here, you. What do you like claiming cheeky kisses, you cheeky individual? Hello, you beautiful being. Hello, Steel Wolfie. Hello, you glorious individual. People, go and check out the beautiful, the exquisite, the absolutely glorious Steel Wolfie. Steel Wolfie is a spectacular individual playing through Final Fantasy VIII at the moment, a member of the Octopus and Dragons stream team. I frequently come downstairs in a morning, make myself a nice, delightful beverage, and put on Steel Wolfie and just sort of loiter. I loiter in the background. They call it lurking, but I call it loitering because why not? You know, a loiter in the background while Steel Wolfie plays the Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VIII is the only. Like, I played 7, didn't play 8, played 9, played 10, played 11. Oh no, 11 was that online one, which was weird. Played 12, I think 12 is where I kind of finished. Is 12 one where they changed the combat system? I seem to remember they changed the combat system in 12, and I was like, yeah, I'm out. But I never played 8. I tried to play 8. And it just didn't grab me like the other ones do. But I hear it's amazing. I hear it's absolutely amazing. In fact, what I've seen of Steel Wolfie playing it, it is amazing. Really enjoyed it. Cool. I'm sure it's a cool joke, but I'm a dumb American just wanting to know the tea leaf composition if it helps make the flavor. I to be honest with you, Decimate, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know, and I think, to be honest with you, I seem to remember it being like one of those closely guarded secrets. You know, the things is like, oh, we use a blend of tea leaves from various different places, but I do know that it is specifically designed for the water that we have here in Yorkshire. Oh, but itchy nose. Totally fair. Yeah, it took me ages for my setup of remembering it. Yeah, fuck that noise. I was like, mine. The problem is that mine changes so often because of all the things that I do in the room, like with all the videos that I do and all the other bits and pieces. But on top of that, J2, on top of that, I get bored. I get bored of like the setup that I've got, and I'm like, I want to change everything. If you go back at I started my streams fucking 5 years ago. Started my streams in the fucking in my wardrobe. I started it in my wardrobe, in the room that is now my wardrobe. Hello, my love. How you doing, Mustafa? How you doing, darling? I started my streaming in my wardrobe, then moved to my bedroom, then moved to that room, then moved into this room, but that was against that window and you were facing this way. And then I changed it to this one. So I've changed it quite a few times. I've changed it like once a year. On average, like once a year, because I'm just constantly shuffling things around. I constantly get fed up and changing things, and I'm just like, no, I need to change stuff. Chances are there's a very, very good chance that when we get the sit-stand desk, I will probably change everything around again. I'll probably change everything around again because I'll get frustrated and I'll want to change stuff up, because that's just the kind of person that I am. Just the kind of person that I am, you know. You know. In general, black tea, but Valence is designed for the type of the water in the area. Yeah. Just like a black tea. I have it black. I have no milk in it. Just fuck that noise. You know, tea bags are more fresh. That's why there's more, because they're right next to you. I mean, to be fair, they are. I got bought just over 1,000 tea bags from some wonderful people in this community. Sent 1,000 Yorkshire tea bags. 1,040. That's the second bag they've sent me as well. 28 tea. That's how many bags they've sent me in total so far. You know? You only had Yorkshire tea with Welsh water. Welsh water is very, very soft. It's a very soft water. And I know, the reason why I know that Welsh water is very, very soft is because Birmingham has their water piped in from Wales. If you go to Birmingham and stay over a night, or if you live in Birmingham in the United Kingdom, the water that you are drinking is from Wales. They import their water from Wales because the Welsh water tastes nicer. So say people, whoever it was that set up that entire scenario, you know. How's it going, TB Sliver? How you doing? Looks like you found your body. Had away all the undergarments. I did indeed. The undergarments are still in a pile in my room, waiting to be organized and put away. I will be doing that. In the near future, because it needs fucking done. But the Invisible Fashion Show was a fucking amazing success. I'm glad that you all enjoyed it. I thoroughly fucking enjoyed it. I thought it was fucking brilliant. I had a great time. And that went out. So the VOD is out on the VODs and Vanity channel already. And then tomorrow, the edited version of the, like, where I've cut it all down. I've cut down the entire 3-hour stream. And at the moment, it's about 15 minutes long. So I've cut out all of the flack to make it into an interesting YouTube video. So that'll be released hopefully tomorrow on the Thurston Vanity channel. So if people missed the entire thing, but they want to check it all out and don't want to watch a 3-hour video, they can do that. They can do that, you know? You know? When you've had a bad week, you don't want to do anything. Exactly. Exactly. I don't want to add that pressure to somebody like that, you know? You're a very kind friend. I mean, it's not... I suppose there's an element of kindness there anyway, Genemis Joy. But for me, it's also down to, like, from a business point of view, I don't want to put the pressure on somebody who will struggle with getting the results out to me. But also from, like, a business point of view, I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, I don't have content ready because I've relied on somebody that is in a position in that, not that they can't do the job, just in that moment in time, they're in such a negative brain space that they can't do the job, you know? That kind of thing. So it's twofold. I'm not going to turn around and say it's completely selfless, because it definitely isn't. It definitely isn't, you know? How's your day coming along? It's been a busy one. Steel Wolf. We had a really, really good day. Really good day. Doing lots of editing, lots of planning for future videos. Recorded a podcast with some amazing people that's going to be going out on at the end of September. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. That's a really good point, actually. I've just realized that I haven't added our next thingy. I know that I'm speaking in code, but it all makes complete sense. Let me just double check dates, friends. Let me just double check dates. Let's get the... Yeah, cool. Announcement sorted. Bloop. Cool. Done. Done and done. Right, I've booked that in. I will announce that very, very shortly. Let that all happen. Let you all be aware of that. But yeah, no, my day's going really, really well. Thank you very much, dear Wolfie. My day's going very, very well. It's been very productive. It's been busy. It's been exhausting. Doing a lot of video editing, like I said, planning a lot of things, recording a podcast episode. Not even my own podcast, somebody else's podcast. Basically, a friend of mine, another person who I was interviewed by on a podcast episode, was talking about me to some other people, and they were like, "Oh, we'd love to speak to them." So we ended up having a conversation last Thursday about like the stuff they wanted to talk about, because they have the podcast that talks about a whole lot of different bits and pieces. They are also Yorkshire tea drinkers, so we love them, and they're doing a series on sex. They're doing a series specifically on sex and sex education and stuff like that. And I am one of their guests. And we had a meeting last week about how it was going to go down. Like, they wanted to talk to me about like potential subjects for the podcast, all those bits and pieces, the preliminary stuff. And they ended up with a list a mile long of questions that they wanted to ask me, because they were like, I don't know how we're going to manage this one, because there's so many things to ask you and so many things to talk about. And I was like, yeah, welcome to my life. I didn't realize quite how many. What did they say? They said there's many strings to your bow. And I was like, I didn't realize quite how many strings there were to my bow until having that conversation, when they were asking me about so many different aspects of my life. And I was like, fucking hell, I do a lot, or have done a lot, you know? So that was interesting. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And then today we had the interview, and they had a whole load of questions, and then they kept like going off track, which was brilliant. I loved it. But it was meant to be like an hour long, and we ended up talking for about an hour and a half. So this is a recurring thing with me. I never ever end up just talking, especially when it's a subject that I'm passionate about, like sex. I never end up like sticking to the time limits. I'm always, oh my god, what about these things? Here's a tangent, here's a tangent, here's another tangent, you know? Gonna make myself one of those here in a minute. Chin chin. Oh, nice. Do you have a fave? Loitering with Intent? Always. My favorite will always be Final Fantasy IX. I love Final Fantasy IX. I thought Final Fantasy IX was phenomenal. But it also was my first... It was my first Final Fantasy. So I feel like I'm biased on that one. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm unbiased on that one. Grand Zenarch, come here, you cheeky devil. Come here, you. What do you like claiming cheeky kisses, you cheeky individual? Friends, I will catch up with chat momentarily. However, there is an advert that is about to run. There is an advert that is about to run momentarily in a few seconds time. So get up. Oh, no, not even get up. Not even get up. This is the first ad break. This is the first ad break. And as we all know, the first ad break comes with a very specific dynamic, which is, what is Valen wearing today? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and all genders outside in between. It's time for What is Valen Wearing Today? Today, Valen Bane is wearing very tight top in order to show off his nipple piercing. He's also wearing a delightful little necklace and some beautiful earrings, of which, chat, love these ones. Just these ones. But what else has got going on? I was getting fully into the dance then. I was getting fully into the dance. And then I realized that the blanket on the back of my chair was like slowly rotating into a candle. And I was like, oh my fucking God, oh my fucking God, oh my fucking God. No, 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 no. So we're all right. We're okay. We're all right. Today I'm also wearing my sexy harem pants. Sexy harem pants, because it's really fucking warm here today. It is really, really warm here today. And also, this outfit is fucking great. Look at this. It's like slick and yet loose. Slick and loose. I feel like an anime character. I feel like an anime character. That is exactly what I feel like. I feel like an anime character. One of those scenarios, you know? Play Final Fantasy XIV, haven't played many of the others. Final Fantasy VII is a time-honored classic. I would suggest that everyone plays Final Fantasy VII. I loved Final Fantasy IX. I feel like it was a perfect blend between a serious fantasy game with some nice tongue-in-cheek, cartoony nature to it. Final Fantasy X was an interesting dynamic. It was the first Final Fantasy that really stepped outside of the Final Fantasy, like, framework, the way that they used to do gameplay, never mind anything else. Final Fantasy VII was...
Pander to my ego. Pander to it. Pander to it.
Last night it was really cold here and my computer froze. It was my fault though. I left too many windows open.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
God damn it, Mr. Psychic. Thank you very much for the 100 little panderings. God damn it. And also, Magi was taken, or Magi was taken, or Magi was taken. I can never remember how your name is pronounced, you beautiful being. Thank you very much for coming in with the Prime Gaming. That cheeky Prime Gaming. I appreciate you coming in here with that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Where's my little gold pen? I'll now inscribe your name upon the mirror vein. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you got to roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, herra, sexy. Oh, yes, meow. You know? You know? Give me 2 seconds. Grand Zenak, you cheeky devil, thank you so much for requesting a cheeky kiss. I'm glad that I could give you a cheeky kiss. Can I just ask you just to be careful in future? I know that there's an awful lot going on in your life there. Fucking entirely fair. I understand the frustration and they were just wanting to get it all out and stuff like that. But just be careful about just coming in and saying stuff, because sometimes I'm not in the right frame of mind to hear everything that's going on in other people's lives, and I know that everyone else isn't in the chat. So just in the future, can I ask you, nothing wrong with what you said, just in the future, can I ask you just to ask, just be like, hey, is it alright if I share what's going on in my life at the moment, just to give us all a heads up and what have you? I'd appreciate that. I'd appreciate that. It's alright, Grand Zenak, it's alright. You now know. You now know. You can take that on to the future, you know. How's it going, Safi? How you doing, you beautiful being? You beautiful individual. How's it going? Right, where was I? Nibirin, hello, you beautiful being. Mixed Devils, my darling. How are you doing? Loki, of the coffee cup, teacup. It's always teacup for me. I always have tea in it. I always have tea in it. But yes, I am a big fan of the peacock feathers. Peacock feathers.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most
Tezooks!
kind.
Tezooks, you cheeky devil! I shall now inscribe your name upon the mirror of Vane as well, you glorious being.
Oh, you followed me. Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful being. I don't like to call people out just in case. Just in case. You're lurking, but I appreciate you. Also, good vant and rant space in Discord. Yes, thank you very much for that, Savvy. Grand Zenak has definitely used that before, so they're aware of that one for sure. But it's alright, it's just letting everyone know, you know? And thank you very much for being so understanding, Grand Zenak. I really do appreciate it. Some people, like, when you turn around and say, hey, can you not do this? They fly off the handle, and I really appreciate you, like, taking it so graciously. It means a lot to me. It really means a lot to me, so thank you for that. Tezooks, your name is now inscribed upon the mirror of Vane, which means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror. Good God, I look rough. But goddamn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, herra, sexy, oh yes, meow, you know? It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. The only way, the only way. Love the fashion show, even though I just watched the first part. That's alright. Like I said, I am editing. So the entire fashion show was just about 3 hours long. The entire VOD is available on the VODs and Vanity YouTube channel. And I have cut down the entire VOD. I have got about the last hour to go through now. I've managed to cut down the entire first 2 hours to about like 7 to 9 minutes. I think it's about 9 minutes now. So the last hour I'm going to cut down, and it'll probably be a 15-20 minute video. So, but the whole thing will be available on the Thurston Vanity channel, just in case. If people don't want to watch the 3-hour VOD channel, I was like, I'm going to make a smaller version of this because people will be interested in it. It would be much easier to watch a 15-20 minute video as opposed to a 3-hour video, you know? So that will be available tomorrow evening about 7 p.m. BST. If I can get it sorted in time. If I can get it sorted. I've got a dentist appointment tomorrow morning, so if I can get it sorted in time, I will do. You know? It's mad the water pipe taking the water to Birmingham runs fairly close to where you live. Really? Oh, wow. And it just baffles me that that a place would ship in water in a country where it rains relatively regularly. The British Isles are particularly wet as an entire fucking nation, and the fact that they don't care about that. They care about making sure that they ship water from Wales to Birmingham. Like what?
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Purple Penguin subscription time.
Purple Penguin subscription time.
Penguin.
All of the purple penguins there, Danny Leon. I will now inscribe your name on the mirror of Vane. What is going on today? What is happening? By having your name on the mirror of vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror, go, God, I look rough. But goddamn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow. You know? You know? All of the purple penguins. You know? Look away, Decimate. No worries, you beautiful being. I appreciate you. Wish you and Chunk could have made it yesterday. It was a great day. Yeah, we were meant to be going to the Timeless Game Convention yesterday in Manchester. I didn't announce it because there was so many things going on. And basically, the final nail in the coffin was the fact that I have no car. Last time when we did format.gg, it was great, but I drove there and then Chunk drove us back. And that was great. That was a wonderful, wonderful time. What have you. And the plan was to do exactly the same thing now. But because of the fact that I've been away for a week and I'm going away at the end, like not the coming weekend, the weekend after, I'm taking Steffels away for her birthday. And yeah, we're going away, and therefore money is tight. And therefore I didn't want to like get a train down and then not be able to get a train back until the following morning, which means fucking hotels and just it was ended up being a hell of a lot of a headache, more of a headache than I would have liked. You know, but they reached out and they were very kind and they were like, don't worry about it, we'll do more in the future, and if you're up for it, we'd love to have you back. Which was, I was like, really, that's really nice of them, really, really nice of them, you know. You know, having an editor burn out because they have too much pressure sounds rough for business indeed. Both for the editor and the editee. Yeah, exactly. Which is the reason why at the moment, how's it going, Dep Fan? How you doing? The reason why at the moment I'm just happy to edit stuff myself. Chunk has offered some of my stuff, and like I'm happy to send him things that are not too, like I wouldn't send him a 3-hour VOD. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't send him a 3-hour VOD and be like, hey, edit this down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd much rather send him like, here's some stuff that's easier to edit and therefore isn't gonna weigh too much on him when he's got other things going on, you know. I will get to a point, I genuinely will get to a point where I will simply have to pay for an editor purely because I do not have the time to do it myself. I don't have the time at the moment, but that's not a problem at the moment. It will be a problem at some point in the future, you know. The Void outfit, all of the Void, you know. All of the invisibility. Do you know what? This is the thing. This is the reason why I need some extra lights in here. I need to work out how I'm going to do it. Because evidently, the light that I have in here is not good enough. Ooh, could put one up there. That could work. That could work. There are options. There are definitely options. Just to give a little bit more light, just for the background, a bit of ambiance, so that I don't get up and immediately disappear, you know. Immediately disappear. How you doing, Mr. Psychic? Hello, you beautiful being. They're fancy. These truths, my wonderful harem pants here, were actually a gift from McSteffels for my birth anniversary. Back in July. Do you know what I mean? You love Final Fantasy X so much. I did love 10. 10 was very, very good. 10-2 can lick the sweat from the wrinkles of my scrotum. I was not happy with 10-2. I got really, really frustrated with Final Fantasy X-2 because of the fact that the idea, the stupid idea of, oh, you change an outfit and suddenly all of your stats change. That annoyed me so much. Just like, no, I do not put on a leotard and suddenly become an Olympic level gymnast. I wish I did, but I didn't at all. Do you know what I mean? Dan is fine, no worries. I try to remember Dan. Try to remember. I'm very bad at names. You know, great with faces, terrible with names. Pun was too good. Do not encourage them, Tazooks. Do not encourage them. These people are terrible with their puns. They do not need any more encouragement than that. God damn it. All right. While I'm at it, people go check out Safi Pie. Go check out Safi Pie, peoples. Go and do the thing. Sci-Fi is a wonderful, wonderful bean. Chaos Gremlin.
Oh, you followed
In
me.
the
Ooh,
absolute thing.
little stalker.
Oh, hello, you. Hello, you. I will not call your name out just in case you're lurking. You're very welcome to stay in the shadows. If you would like to just stay lurking, that's fine and dandy. But I recognize that username. I recognize that username. Welcome on in, you beautiful bean. Hello, Dabber Cogsworth. Hello, you glorious individual. How's it going? How's things? How you doing? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Welcome on in. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you coming in and saying hi. Without going into detail. Helps a lot. Thank you for what you do and being awesome. Oh, Dan, thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I don't know how else to be. This is just the way I am. This is just the way I am. This is just the way. I like it. But I just don't understand why people would not have kind words. So I'm glad that you like the kind words, but these are just the words that I have for human beings, you know? For human beings. You beautiful individual. But don't you worry, mental health has its highs and it has its lows. And there will always be highs and there will always be lows. And that's the problem. Because the lows can be very, very low and they can be not so low. And it doesn't matter. Whatever the scenario, do whatever you can just to get through that next little bit until the high starts again. Until the high starts again. One foot in front of the other. The quotation that was given to Chunk, that Chunk really likes, is every stumble is still a step forward. And I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I also like good old Blanche Ebbert's 1913 quote of do not look at the black side of the cloud. It is simply the shadow cast by the silver lining. I love that. I love that. You know? I sort of didn't work during the Invisible Fashion Show, so I wanted to try again. Well, I appreciate you doing so, Tezooks. I appreciate you doing so, you know? Final Fantasy XIV is the only Final Fantasy game I've actually played fully. Still need to play 7 Remake and Final Fantasy 15 all the way through, as I've only played a bit of those games. I would always suggest, and this is because I am a man of nostalgia. I like my nostalgia. I do enjoy it. I think it has its place. I think it is inconvenient at times, but I do love nostalgia. And I would say that it's worth noting. I would always say play Final Fantasy VII by itself and then play the remake. In exactly the same way of me saying I play Dead Space the original and then play the remake. Because there are things about the games that they change. Same with Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, and the revamp and what have you. There are things that they change that change the perception of how you play the game. For example, I have been watching Miss Uki play the Dead Space games. The new Dead Space game, the revamped Dead Space game. And she actually described it. She was saying that it's interesting because they've given a lot more story in the Dead Space remake, which has meant that you don't have that cluelessness, that what the fuck is actually going on, that you get in so the original Dead Space was just like, this is a fucked up scenario, deal with it. And then they gave you a lot more background lore in Dead Space 2. So you went into Dead Space 2 going, oh no, now that makes sense because of this thing that happened in the first game. Oh shit, because this makes it. Oh, because of this thing that happened in the first game. So you always had that like sort of really nice sort of, oh my god, it all makes sense now. This is great. Whereas the new game gives a lot more of the background lore that they give you in like Dead Space 2 and 3 and stuff. So you don't. It's not quite so much as a, oh fucking A. It's more of a, oh right, okay, that's interesting. You know, you don't have that like great grand realization. So I would always suggest that people play like if you can play the original game, play the original game first and then play a remake to see how it was originally meant to be and then how they changed it. And you can appreciate a remake. You can be like, oh my god, yeah, this was great in comparison. I really, really, really want them to remake.
You subscribed. Most kind.
Max, you cheeky devil. Thank you so much. Max, a long time ago, you bought me a thing on the Throne wishlist. Do you remember doing that? For my birth anniversary. for my birth anniversary. Yes. That has not arrived. I don't know where it is. The last information I got was on the 14th of July. It had been shipped, and I have chased up on it. I just wanted to give you an update that I have actively chased up on it. I have logged a lost/missing report with Throne to find out where the fuck it is, because I'm not okay with the fact that it's not here, because I was looking forward to it. God damn it. All right. Yeah, one of the games that I really, really, really want them to remake is Beyond Good and Evil, the PlayStation game. PlayStation 2 game? PlayStation 2 game? PlayStation 2 game, maybe? Max, thank you very much for giving that sub to Safi Pie. I should now inscribe their name upon the mirror of Ving. Safi Pie! Your name is now inscribed upon the mirror of Vane, which means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror. Oh God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Oh yes, meow. While I'm talking about companies that have done things that I didn't want them to do, quick update on the train scenario. I have now been deferred to their legal department. I've been deferred. For long story short, a train company told me that if I bought a hotel for one of my performers, that I would be able to get reimbursed for it. Then they're now telling me that that was never something they were allowed to do. And I have been referred to their legal department because I'm demanding information about the phone calls that were made and stuff like that. Because I'm a bit of a bastard. Don't fuck with me. I have people very close to me in my life who have got like law degrees and shit. And I am not afraid to ask them for help. Like, please help me. This is the situation. And they're like, don't worry, Valen. They're there. This is the stuff you need to say. And I'm like, let's fuck some shit up. Let's do it. Let's fuck some shit up. So we've not had a brat chain. Grand Zenak, I'm not confirming or denying that. Ginger Bay Lioness, are you still here, you beautiful bean? You still here? Ladies and gentlemen and all genders outside in between, Dan, a.k.a. Magi Was Taken, has requested a Praise the Mods. Could you do me a massive favor and throw out some mod loves in the channel? You can use any kind of mod loves from any kind of channel. You can use any kind of love hearts from any kind of channel. Say a massive thank you to those wonderful, wonderful moderators. Those wonderful, wonderful moderators. Moderators! You exquisite beings. Thank you so much for all that you do for me and this channel and this community, both on and off stream. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. You're glorious and exquisite, and I love you very, very dearly. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all that you do. You know? Ginger Bay Lioness is still here. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to catch up a little bit with the thing, and then I'm going to answer your question, okay? How's it going, Dabber Cogsworth? How you doing? Talking of mental health, doing better than I was. I'm very glad to hear that. Very, very glad to hear that. It's always good to push yourself through the far side of things, you know. There will always be times when you dip back down under it, but the point to remember is it'll be all right in the end. And if it's not all right, it's not the end. You know. Samurai Afro, how you doing, you beautiful bean? Is it me? It is. It is me. Also me. Me and other things as well, you know. Mental health is so much better than it was in the first half of the year. So is mine. So is mine. Turns out the entire first half of the year, I was burnt out to fuck. And I didn't realize it. Didn't realize it until McSteffels organized a surprise birthday party for me. And I was like, oh shit. It turns out that socializing actually recharges my extrovert batteries. Being around fuck tons of people that I love dearly just recharges me. Who'd have fucking thunk it? Thank you, my darling. A little bit of chaos, a little bit of socializing, a little bit of madness. Just fucking recharges my batteries like nobody's business, you know. Just episodes slowly ending, I think. Always have my resources and numbers to call. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. People like you and King Argoroth and Cool Beans also there when I'm down. Yeah. And also, like, I will say, Dan, that we are pushing, like, we're trying to make sure that this entire community doesn't get to a point, because we had a situation a while back where we were creating a negative atmosphere, not through anybody's personal fault. It wasn't a personal thing. It was like somebody would share something and everyone would go, oh, that's okay, and then other people would share their own things and everyone would go, oh, that's okay, but nobody actually resolved anything. All it just became people sharing their own negativity, as opposed to being like, okay, let's talk about this. How do we get you like better off and what have you? Nowadays we've got the vent and rant space for people that really need to get stuff out there, and I'm asking people to ask before they share stuff about their lives. You know what I mean? Just ask them, like, hey, is it all right if I talk about this thing? It's something that's bothering me or what have you. If I'm in a good mind space, I might be like, do you know what? Yeah, actually, you can do that. That's grand. If I'm not, then I might be like, do you know what? I don't have the mental spoons to deal with that at the moment, but we do have the vent and rant space available should you want to talk about it. There's people in there that might be able to help you and stuff like that, just as a way of making sure that we maintain this positivity. We maintain this air of we can do it together, we can push through stuff, and it doesn't just become like an echo chamber of negativity like it was 4 or 5 months ago, you know? 4 or 5 months ago, you know? See if she has another good one. I will do momentarily, Nibiru, but I want to give Ginger Bay their thingy. Ginger Bay, you are still here, aren't you? Double check. Itchy nose. Itchy nose. As you realized it before and told you, just didn't listen, so I had to plot and scheme things. Rude. You're here. Okay, Ginger Bay asked Ask Val a Schmex question using their channel points, which means that they're asking me a sex education question, and I'm going to answer said sex education question. They said, any tips on achieving orgasm for male-bodied individuals, as in people with penises? I'm assuming that's what you mean. It's something that I've been chasing for a while now, and I haven't had the lightning going through the body feeling and the eyes rolling back experience. I've done good enough to have my knees buckling and hands shaking for half an hour afterwards, but yeah, I'm tired of hearing, oh, you'll know if you've experienced it. To be honest with you, Ginger Bay, regardless of genitalia, the situation is pretty much the same. Which is to say, how's it going, Fish Pancakes? How you doing? How's it going? Welcome on in. Which is to say that basically, we as human beings have the anatomy to be able to orgasm. We have and I don't mean ejaculating, all right? There is a different feeling. There is a massive difference between orgasming and ejaculating, but there's also a massive difference between, like, the feeling of, after you've come, and the, oh my fucking God, everything is fucking amazing, oh my God. Do you know what I mean? That comes with orgasming, all right? And I know because I've experienced both of them. It, like, coming as a person with a penis, ejaculating, that relief, that sensation, that, oh my God, this is great, was fantastic. It is absolutely amazing. But an orgasm is next fucking level. Like, I was not ready. I was genuinely not fucking ready. It was something else entirely. We all have the ability to do that. However, it needs to be said that there are definitely, first of all, bodies are wired in different ways. What works for me will not... Who did that? What works for me will not guaranteed work for you. And what works for other people won't necessarily work for you. Wasn't you? Excuse me. Thank you very much, Gifter. Do you mind if I call you out? Is that all right? Is that okay? Max wattage. You cheeky shit. Right, hold on. Let me Max Wattage has just very kindly contributed the final amount, the unreasonably large final amount, in order to get me this gorgeous tentacly decanter with shot glasses. That is outrageous, Max. That is outrageous. You already bought me a birthday present, you shit. You already bought me one. I read your message. Didn't make a difference. You already bought me one. Oh my god. You fucking kind human being. That's so kind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. It's an unbirthday gift. A very merry unbirthday to me, to you. A very merry unbirthday to me. It's true. Max, thank you so much. Fuck. God damn it. Thank you so much. That is. I even know what to. Anyway, I'm gonna swiftly move on because otherwise I'll have an emotion and that's weird. All right. Don't think he's heard of second present, Pippin. Have an apple. Oh, god damn it. Max, thank you so much. God damn it. God, just, you little... Anyway. Let me just move on. Otherwise, I'll get caught up in that moment. Ginger Bay Lioness, back to your question. How's it going, All-Star Gamer Girl? So basically the scenarios that I have found in the difference between a penile like orgasming and the feeling of ejaculation. The orgasm doesn't need ejaculation by any stretch of the imagination. Like when I orgasmed, I definitely did not come. That wasn't a fucking thing. What I understand of the biology, and I will say to you right now, even though this is all educational, I have not looked into the biological elements of it, okay? But what I understand from my own experience and my own knowledge of how orgasms work versus how ejaculating works is that the sensation and the mindset are essential with an orgasm, whereas the sensation and the mindset aren't necessarily essential with ejaculating. If you just crank one off and using that pump motion, you will ejaculate. That does not mean that you will orgasm. In my experience, orgasming was far more around the sensation dynamic of it, a lot more vibration element, a lot more there was no pumping stimulation. It was a lot more like when you play with a clitoris or something like that, a lot more vibrating elements to it, a lot more sensation play around that, tantalizing certain parts of the genitalia versus cranking one off completely and utterly. Do you know what I mean? Using that pump action and what have you. That was the way that I ended up achieving one. And I haven't done it since. I haven't managed to do it since. All right? And I think it did help. It definitely helped for me was the fact that somebody else was doing it. It helped for me that somebody else was doing it. They were, they were doing it to me, which means that I didn't know what was coming. I was laid back. I was blindfolded. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. So all of my senses were in the moment. I didn't have to think about what I was doing. I didn't have to think about what was coming next. I didn't have to think about thingy. All of my concentration was purely on what was going on in that moment. And I have to say, bless them, the person I was with had a bit of a freak out because I didn't know what was happening and they didn't know what was happening, and it turns out I was having an orgasm and they were just like, are you all right? Are you okay? Have I hurt you? And I was like, no, this is fucking amazing. You know? So yeah, fun times. Do it with somebody that you know and you trust and what have you. And I'm sure that it is entirely possible to be able to do it yourself. I think a lot of people with penises get too frustrated and just end up like too impatient for it and just end up doing it. But I would say that like atmosphere and mindset are probably the most key parts of it. If you want to be a person that experiences a penile orgasm, then which doesn't involve ejaculation and does involve just the waves and waves and waves of pleasure, light some candles. Make sure you're in a house that you're not gonna, make sure you're in a place where you're not gonna get disturbed. Put some music on in the background. Do not put on things that you naturally get like aroused by. Don't like stick some porn on or something like that, because you will get too focused in on that and not enough on the sensation. Put some music on in the background, light some candles, get the fucking atmosphere going, make sure you are nice and warm, get vibrators and other things that tantalize you, and build up from the fucking ground level. From the ground level where you are building it all up to a point where like all of your anatomy is like super fucking sensitive, and then find out what parts of your anatomy are sensitive enough to take you to that next level. As somebody who has only done it once and therefore not a fucking veteran in these things, that is my advice. That is my advice, because that's the advice that I would give to somebody with a vulva, and therefore it's pretty much the same fucking thing. Pretty much the same fucking thing. You got to get your mind in the right space, then work out what parts of your body are reacting to that mind space, and then play on those. You know? So I hope that answers your question. Well, it answers your question to the best of my ability. You know? Right, where was I? What was I talking about? What's happening? What's happening? Final Fantasy VII was your first Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy IX was my first one. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Also, while I'm here, while I'm taking that moment before I've caught entirely up with chat, Nibirin, 20 minutes ago, now that I've gone off on one, talking about orgasms and shit, Nibirin, 20 minutes ago, redeemed a Victorian advice. Ugh. Today's advice is going to come from Don'ts for Husbands. A book published in 1913, a year before the suffragette movement, by Blanche Ebbott, a glorious individual, whose advice so far has been rather timeless. Quite surprising, really. We're on chapter 2, personal relations, in this book. I feel like this one is definitely more misogynistic than Don'ts for Wives. Don't nag your wife. If she has burnt the cake or forgotten to sew on a button, she doesn't want to be told over and over and over again. As much as I do agree with the sentiment, don't nag somebody, the last thing that you want from a partner is for them to nag and nag and nag at you. In fact, to be honest with you, the more somebody asks me about something, the less likely I am to do it. But on the examples that they gave there were quite of the misogynistic variety. The idea that it is the woman that must make the cake, the woman that must sew on the buttons. Not in this day and age, sunshines, and if you're a kind of person that doesn't know how to sew on buttons, fucking learn. It's a very, very useful skill, if I have to say so myself. Very useful skill indeed. Helped me out many a time. Do you know what I mean? Helps me out many a time. Victorian readings. Yeah, so there's a channel points redemption for Victorian advice, Samurai Afro. So we read some Victorian advice, either from Don'ts for Wives, Don'ts for Husbands, or I've got a Don'ts for Mothers in there as well, which we haven't started yet. We haven't started that one yet. But it's advice from the Victorian period, from 1913. It's technically the Edwardian period, but I think it's Victorian enough. You know what I mean? He's Victorian enough. By therefore when down just meant I can tune in here and get warmed up. Not that anything weird. Oh no, that's alright, that's okay. That's okay. I love Beyond Good and Evil. Honestly, I feel like PC port still holds up really well, even with the janky combat. Shame the sequel is taking ages. The sequel is taking ages, and that is unfortunate. And I feel like if they remade the original, that it would be a really nice like inter-segue between the new one and the old one and what have you. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there like a condom in an orgy. I have major issues because my version of it on Steam doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. It's just real janky. Like it's like 1 frame per 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean? It's so janky. It's such a pain in the ass because I fucking love that game. Absolutely fucking love that game. It's so good. You know? One of the very few games, one of the very, very few games that I played before I started streaming. I was not a gamer before I started streaming. I was not a gamer before I started streaming. And here I am completing many, many games. How many games have I completed? We can find out. Oh, that's a really good point, actually. Can add that one to it as well. We have completed 105 games on stream. From the point of me starting streaming to now, we have completed 105 games. How wild is that shit? 105 games. Jesus Christ. Not 100% completion, because fuck that noise. Completing the storyline, you know? You know? Fooled by Valent's madness. God damn it. How's it going, Captain Bambi's Revenge? How you doing, you beautiful bean? Alpaca Lunjuo, hello, hello. Thank you very much, everybody, for thanking the mods. I really do appreciate it. Mods, you're glorious and beautiful. I appreciate you. Good evening, Val. You look less invisible this evening. I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. It took me a long time to get that invisible paint off because I didn't know where I was looking. Yeah, I didn't know what I was trying to scrub. Was it there? Was it not there? The amount of times that I put my hand through what I thought was my hand, but it wasn't. It was just a bit of air. Oh, invisible paint. What are you meant to do? What are you meant to do? First half of the year is also winter for us, the northern folks. This is true. This is true. We've had about 3 weeks of sunshine. Today was meant to be blustering. Like, this week was meant to be blustering storms, and we haven't had them. And I've been like, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with no blustering storms. I'm okay with the slight warmth. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? What's a birthday party? Never had one? Dabber Cogsworth, how dare you? You need to organize one. You need to organize one. McStevels was the first person to give me a surprise party. But, yeah, organize a birthday party. Even if it's an online one. A digital birthday party. I had a digital birthday party when I was, during the pandemic and stuff like that. Gotta have, just organize them. Sort it all out. Get people involved. Get all your friends doing things that you love, and it's one of the few days a year that you can actually indulge in your own vices. You know, as long as it's all between consenting adults. Do you know what I mean? You know. How's it going, Cognor? How you doing, you beautiful bean? How's it going, All-Star Gamer Girl? How you doing? Fish pancakes, you beautiful bean. Good, thank you. I'm glad to hear it. Very, very glad to hear it. I'm now way behind in chat, but I'm gonna try and catch up a wee bit. You know. Handshaking is quite extreme. I think there's a lot of subjectivity about it. Oh. Oh, I see what you mean. The handshaking is quite extreme, 100%. 100%. But the thing is, I think that the problem that we as people with penises have is the fact that a lot of... we are kind of conditioned because there's no real study into it and there's no real education around sex. We are kind of conditioned to just believe that it's pump, 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 splooge, done. That's kind of what we're conditioned to believe. It's like, okay, you masturbate. Masturbating involves you rubbing your genitalia, like wrapping your hand around your genitalia and pumping it until splooge goes everywhere. That is your masturbation. We're never really, it's never really encouraged that we explore our own bodies. It's never really encouraged that we actually take the time to find out what does work for us, what doesn't work for us. McSteffels has found some of the sensitive parts of my body that are nowhere near my fucking genitalia. Nowhere fucking near them. And much to my both absolute amusement, amazement, and a modicum of regret, she knows exactly how to get my fucking heart pumping. Can do it at any time in any place, and I'll be like, we need to go home now. You know, like, it's true. It's true. It's got like the human body is phenomenal, and because of this weird dynamic, I was talking about this today on the podcast thing. Because this weird dynamic of the societal standards and understanding of sex, we've got this thing as like sex is to do with your genitalia, and that is it, and you are going to be ashamed of it, and that's not that you cannot be okay with it. But when you actually like look into sex and look into the various different mannerisms and the way that it works, and oh my god, there's so much going on there. Like the whole body is a sexual organ. It certainly has the ability to be a sexual organ. You know. How's it going, Calandra? How you doing? Someone had photoshopped something if I like rude. Rude. Max strikes again. I know. Fucking Max. Far too fucking kind. God damn it. It's just rude. Just rude at this point, Max. Coming in here with your kindness. Alright. Gorgeous, isn't it? It's beautiful. Absolutely. I've been wanting that. I will say that decanter I have been wanting for nearly a decade. That has been on my wish list in my own Amazon for nearly a decade. And now I have it. Now it is mine. Now it is. Oh, do you know what? Does that mean I can actually, like, remove it from said wish list? Is it still on said wish list? My wish lists. It will be under the wish list labeled the luxury. Yep. Remove from wish list. That's weird. The luxury. You know? Early birthday gift of July 2024. Okay, that's the way we're going to do it, all right? That's the way we're going to do it, Max Voyage. Okay. You're not allowed to buy me a birthday gift in July 2024. Okay? There we go. Boom. Boom. Done. All right? It's the only way I'm allowed to accept this. You know? So technically, right? You know your fish, you're going to get more, or maybe have a turtle or a frog. So these fish have recently gone through a deep clean. I did a real big deep clean yesterday morning. Yesterday morning before stream, I did a deep clean. So those fish are doing all right. I am going to be getting the aquarium stream back up and running. There's an issue with the cameras. They're just like, it's like 5 fucking frames per second or something like that. It's so slow. So I am trying to sort that out. I don't know whether it's an issue with the camera. In fact, I know it's not an issue with the camera, because I tested the camera on a different PC. But I'm still trying to work out what the fucking issue is. But it's a pain in the ass. Because I do want to get back up and running. I know a lot of people used to like listen to it and stuff and just chill out with it. But I'm getting it back up and running. But yeah, I have intentions to expand the aquarium, but just not at the moment. There's too many other things going on. If the aquarium ends up being successful, like, my view is I can only justify expanding the amount of aquariums that I have and the stuff, like all of that stuff, if the aquarium is successful, as a channel. Do you know what I mean? Because fish keeping is real fucking expensive. Because of all the electricity, because of all the fish, because of the fact they fucking die, because of the fact that they're super, like, dynamic and they're dying. Electricity and water bills go fucking all over the place, you know? Oh, such an itchy nose. So I do have intentions of growing the aquarium channel, but yeah, not soon. Not soon, you know? You know? How's it going, 100 Ducks? How you doing? Long time no see. Long time no see. Hope you're doing very, very well, you beautiful being. Scorpia, hello. Not the sexiest vamp on Twitch. Hope you're well gorged. Heard good things on your catwalk. Thank you very much. It was glorious. In fact, the VOD is available. If people do want to check out the VOD of the the invisible catwalk, the invisible fashion show that we did. There we go. Shush. Thank you very much for that, Nibiran. This is the direct link to the VOD of it. However, tomorrow I will be releasing a 15 to 20 minute video that just has like the catwalk on it. It doesn't have all the extra stuff in it. It'll just have the catwalk and stuff. Because I know that people are not gonna. There's a lot of people out there that don't want to sit through 3 hours of a VOD. They would much rather just see the refined version. It's taken me fucking ages to go through the 3 hours, but I'll do it. I'm getting through it. I'm getting it all sorted and bits and pieces. All right. So that should. Yeah, the giggles are being cut. The giggles are being cut. So you don't get the full experience if you watch the shorter video, but you do get a screenshot, like a shot, a taster, a little tantalizing taster of it, you know. Find the buttons and the switches. Everybody has them somewhere. Everyone has them somewhere. However, I would like to point out, actually, as an addition to the orgasm question that we had earlier, as an addition to that question, I do want to say openly, say that there are a variety of different things that go on in people's lives. Even though every single human body has the ability to orgasm, there are a variety of different things that can prevent that. Okay? Sometimes hormones can prevent it. Stress, for example, can be a massive issue with preventing people from hitting that climax. Medications can also prevent it. Medications can massively prevent people from hitting orgasm and stuff like that. A lot of antidepressants have the side effects of denying, like, there's no build-up. The way it was described to me recently by a friend was that it was like somebody touching their genitalia was like somebody touching their elbow. There was no, like, extra sensation there, you know? So it really, just be aware of the fact that there's so many different things that can have effects on it. Also, like things like neurological damage that you're not aware of, trauma can affect it as well. Like stuff like vaginismus exists because of traumatic situation. Vaginismus is where the muscles within your vulva, within your vagina, are so unbelievably tight, usually, not always, but usually because of some description of traumatic event that makes you feel shame, makes you feel disgust, makes you feel hatred, and on a subconscious level, to the point where, like, sex just becomes really fucking painful. And that's all. These are all things that people don't really fucking talk about. So be aware that, like, place of mind, like, state of mind is really fucking important for any kind of any description of attempt to reach any kind of orgasm. You've got to be in the right state of mind. You've got to be in the right place for your brain to be there, but there will be external factors that will affect it, and you should not punish yourself for those external factors. Okay? There are a variety of ways around it. There are different parts of your body that you can work with in bits and pieces, but it's really important that people are aware of those dynamics, you know? Something I have to say is that you can tell a story in an absolute bombastic way. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Victorian reading, I know how to sew, but as for baking, yeah, don't talk about that. Baking is a science. The way that Chunk describes it. Chunk is my housemate. He's a very much a culinary artiste. He's a fantastic cook. And he describes it as baking is a science. Cooking is an art. Because with cooking, you can add a variety of different ingredients and it just alters the flavors of the way things are working, you know what I mean? Whereas baking is this amount of this stuff, process, cake. Do you know what I mean? That's baking. That's the way that works. There's no real thing. If you follow the instructions and you do everything properly, you can't really get it wrong, you know? There are ways to make it more arty and make it more creative, for sure. Some of the greatest cakes, my sister was a cakestress, and some of the greatest cakes that I've ever had were because she decided to get like creative with her cake making and get really inventive with it and what have you. But it was down to science more than it was art, you know. You know, Edwardian, exactly. When the music stopped and everything went black and white, yeah. I lolled so much. So oh yeah. Oh, Samurai Afro. You know us. We're all about the theater. We have fucking curtains between scenes, you know? We have curtains between scenes. I meant to say perhaps orgasms are different for different people. Oh, massively so. That's a really good point as well, Afro Samurai. Samurai Afro. That's a really good important thing. When it comes to people with vulvas, the 3 orgasms that have been described to me, there's 3 different types of orgasms that have been described to me, which is the tsunami, the waves, and the volcano. Okay? Those are 3 different types of orgasm, and usually a person, not always, but usually a person can only experience one type of orgasm. It depends on how their body reacts to that level of like stimulation, you know. How's it going, Unicorn Mom? How you doing? But so like for example, like the tsunami is where everything sort of builds up and then just crashes over. It's like one fluid motion into pleasure. Just like, okay, build up, and it crashes through. All fantastic, all great, and what have you. The waves are kind of like you hit the wave point, and then just like ebbs. It's like a rotating wave. One wave of pleasure, another wave of pleasure, another wave of pleasure, another wave of pleasure, and it just like ebbs out like the waves do on like a beach or what have you. And then the volcano is where everything builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up right to like that final point, and then it just blows and everything's oh my god, this is amazing. Those are like the 3 types of orgasm that have been described to me, that I'm aware of through my own studies and stuff like that. I don't know whether there's more. I don't know whether there's a combination of these things. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But that's the way I did. The volcano is what people with penises usually have when it comes to ejaculating. Everything builds up and builds up and builds up, and then like as you ejaculate, it's like, oh, there we go, that's great. But the difference is with an orgasm, it's like 10 times, 20 times the pleasure you get, you know? When I had my orgasm, it was mine was far more like the tsunami. It built up and built, the tension built up, then built up and built up and built up, and then it sort of like just rolled straight into like this wild wash of pleasure, which was so different from what I'm used to in regards to like thingies. You know what I mean? You're a thunderstorm, as in you have like an ongoing set of tension and then little flashes of pleasure, that kind of thing. I'm trying to work out how like it would describe that, you know. Friends are being advertised in about 2 minutes. You know what I mean? 2 minutes. How's it going, Defected? How you doing? There's one called Command and Conquer too, right? Isn't that just like a BDSM relationship? Isn't that just a kinky dynamic? I've not heard the Command and Conquer one. I've not heard the Command and Conquer one. Unless it's just like for the hand of Nod or what have you. Command and Conquer. Fucking hell, what a game. What a game. But yeah, there are different varieties of sex. And the way that some people describe sex, like I can understand how somebody would think, like would have an orgasm and then be like, oh my god, that was amazing, I had an orgasm. Explain what their orgasm felt like, and somebody else be like, that wasn't an orgasm. Like mine's like always like this, and people being like, oh shit, did I not have an orgasm? Did I not? There's different types of orgasms. There's also different types of orgasms within the same people. There's stuff like nipplegasms and like an anal orgasm, a penile orgasm, clitoral orgasm, internal stimulation if you got a vulva, vagina, like vaginal orgasm versus clitoral orgasm. There's so many different things. If you are like, there are people out there, it happens a lot with people with disabilities, where if they don't have certain sensations in certain areas, the brain redirects those pleasure sensors to different parts of your body, which means that you will have you could have an orgasm from like having your ears touched or having the inside of your elbow touched and stuff like that. It just depends on what parts your brain is connected to that create that level of stimulation, you know? All of the giggles, not the giggles. When we're gonna do gaming again, we still do gaming every Tuesday and Wednesday, All-Star Gaming. Every Tuesday and Wednesday. However, in September, there's a reason why the stream title is called September. In September, we're going to be changing ever so slightly the way that we do games. Ever so slightly. We'll still do one on Tuesday, we'll still do a different one on Wednesday, but based on the Discord. Can I hide that so that people don't get all that? Yes. Cool. I can show you this now. Boop. I can do this announcement now. Might as well. So, friends, a little while ago, we were doing the. I asked everybody. I asked people in the Discord to decide on how we were going to go playing games going forward, because things were not quite right and things felt a bit weird and awkward and stuff. People would stick around for the beginning of a game and then they'd go on and do other things and bits and pieces. And I saw a trend. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming anybody at all. But I saw a trend of people, like, we'd start a new game and people would be like, oh my god, a new game, this is fantastic. And then after a few weeks, they'd just drop off and the numbers would just go down and stuff. And that's fine. You got your own lives, you got things you want to get on with, and you might just not be interested in the game anymore, which is okay. So I was like, how do I shake this up? How do we make sure that we're getting people coming in and wanting to stay coming in? And of course, this is when an advert goes on. God damn it. I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that in a minute. I'll catch up with chat a wee bit. I'll come back to that in a minute. Typical. Fucking typical advert. Talking orgasms and the like. Please do tell me if I'm overstepping anything. Okay, Pigswell, I just wanted to read in advance what it was that you were saying. As soon as you say that, tell me if I'm overstepping. I don't think that's necessarily overstepping if you are happy to share that information, and more specifically, that they are happy for you to share this information as well. Before I go into the topic of conversation, could you do me a favor and just check with them to make sure that they are genuinely happy for that to be a topic of conversation as well? We like to have consent in all things. I'm sure you probably have already, but just to be confirming, I don't want people talking about intimate elements of people's relationships without all of the people being involved to have that conversation, you know, because this is a public platform. This is not friendship circles speaking in private, you know. Level Theatricas, I didn't think it was possible on this medium. Samurai Afro. We do it, like, there's an awful lot of theatrical stuff that happens on Twitch. Specifically, like, some of the tabletop roleplay stuff is really good. Is really good. Really theatrical, really over the top, really intense. Very good production values as well. You really get, like, sucked into the storylines and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's really good. But, yeah, you can get some proper, decent, good theatrics on stream for sure. And I love it. I love, like, throwing down on all those theatrics and what have you. You know what I mean? I love going into those. Weird electric flashing stuff happening. Ooh, that's interesting. So it's not like it builds up and then you hit the orgasm and it just, like, you get wave after wave of various things, but you get, like, spurts of pleasure. Spurts cheeky. You get, like, flashes of pleasure. That type of thing. You know what I mean? Back from the Stone Ages. I fucking loved Command & Conquer when it came out. Fucking love Command & Conquer. Do you know what I mean? Hand of Nod. Don't you start Max Wattage, you cheeky devil. Maybe have a shorter game sessions, for example, playing multiple titles during a stream. I wouldn't want to do that because I'd get frustrated and I'd probably get carried away and stuff like that. But anyway, I did put 3 options to the community. Well, now the adverts are over, I'll jump straight back into this, all right? So I gave 3 options to the community. Either we have a monthly vote, so at the beginning of every month, we decide on whether we're going to continue the game that we're playing or we start an entirely new game. The downside to that would be, obviously, we don't ever get to, like, there's a good chance we'd never get to finish any games. Dedicate one game to long form content and one game to shorter form content. So, for example, at the moment we're playing Hollow Knight on a Tuesday, which is a long form content, because a longer game. It's taking hours and hours and hours and hours. We're on week 13 that we've been playing that game. And I did a vote to see if we wanted to change it, and people said they didn't. They wanted to keep watching it, which is fine, which is fantastic. That's what I need. I need to get the input back from the community to make sure that what I'm doing is stuff that you actually want to see. Do you know what I mean? Not just something that I can entertain myself with. And then one day to short form content, so shorter games that last 2 to 3 weeks, or 1 week even in certain circumstances, you know? Get the idea of those situations. And then the idea, the last one, get rid of the one game on Tuesday and one game on Wednesday, and we literally just go one game, do the game both Tuesday and Wednesday, and then on the once we finish that game, we vote on another game. And it doesn't matter whether people can only tune in on a Tuesday or can only tune in on a Wednesday. We'll just play one game. Now, as you see, the votes there are pretty wild. The vote was a really interesting one, I have to say. The vote was a really interesting one because it led with one game at a time. It led with the little Valen mushroom there. It was like one game at a time, and that was the most popular for a good while. And then people came in with the other one, with the monthly vote, and with the other one. And as you can see, the ESP there, 40 votes to dedicate one day to long form games and one day to short form games. So as of, I'm not going to do it in August because next week I've got a show during the day, and then there'll probably be like another short stream on the evening. But as of September, we will dedicate Tuesdays to long form games because we're already playing Hollow Knight on a Tuesday at the moment, and it's been voted for that we keep playing that until we're done, which I'm hoping we're somewhere near the end. And we'll keep doing long form content. We'll do longer games on Tuesdays, and then on Wednesdays we'll do our shorter games. So we will do like little indie games here, there, and everywhere. We'll do little games here, little ones like Happy Humbles, Burger Barn, or like Dagon was a good one. Anything that lasts 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 weeks. If it goes over to 5 because I'm being a bumble fucking idiot, then that's fine. Do you know what I mean? Then that's alright. That's okay. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. But if something's gonna be lasting like fucking 14 weeks, I'm not gonna be playing it on the Wednesdays. Okay? Means a little bit of extra work for me when I'm like pulling up a game vote together, so that I'm like, okay, I need to look into what is the gameplay time, what is the average gameplay time for each of the ones that are going in for the vote. But I don't mind doing that if it means that it's going to be better for this community. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so that is declared, that is official. As of September, we will be doing Tuesdays will be our long form content days, our longer games, and Wednesdays will be our shorter games. Okay? Dedicated. So let it be. I realized the original quote is so mote it be, but this is it. Alright? Alright. I have thought about doing multiple titles in the same day, affected, but I feel like I wouldn't really get anything done. Like, there's so many times that I've... Like, because I watch people like Varg Skeletor, where they do like a 9-hour stream, and they'll play like 3 hours of one game, 3 hours of another game, 3 hours of another game. And that's grand when you're playing 9 hours. But when I'm chatting for like an hour and a half, and then I stream for another 2 to 3 hours, it doesn't feel like there's long enough in there to do multiple games at a time. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one, but it's something that's I've been fascinated by for a while. You know, he's going to sat across the room from me. That's cool. That's all right. Let me scroll back up to what it was you said, Pixie Ball. I realized Calandra has also asked a question. I'll be with you in moments. My partner and I had a lot of fun last night. Yep. Got to be careful about terms of service as well. Not allowed to go into too much detail myself, but I can read it in my head. Not really interested here. When you say outside of one and done, Pixie Mom, do you mean like one orgasm for yourself, or as in you do the one sexual engagement session, or do you mean like what is it you mean there? No worries, you take it easy, Defected. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate you, beautiful bean. I really, really appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Are you coming back to streaming, Defected, before you disappear off? Before you go and do bits and pieces, are you going to be coming back to streaming? I miss chilling out in your streams. Or at least I haven't seen you streaming. Tomorrow? Okay. Cool. I will have to have a look-see. I'll have to have a look-see. I'll see if I can pop in. I've got a little bit of things to do tomorrow that require me to be out of the house, but I'll see if I can pop in afterwards. You know? Appreciate you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to give you a shout out, Defected. People, go and check out Defected. Go and check out Defected. There's always the VOD. There is always the VOD. Defected was what... I think, Defected, you may well have been the first subscriber on this channel. If not the first subscriber on this channel, like, certainly one of the first, like, 3 subscribers on this channel. And certainly one of the first 5 people that ever fucking spoke to me. So, Defected has been here since the beginning. Since way back in the beginning. Back in the old days. Yeah. Crocodile doesn't come around anymore, but yeah, she was right there at the beginning as well, for sure. But yeah, the back in the old days, and Defected plays some very chill, very artistic games at times. Does a lot of I know you like your Sherlock Holmes games and stuff like that, but it's always a really chill place to go and like chill out. So if you ever want to hang out, just chill out and be in a really, really nice, calm area with a cool guy, Defected your person, all right? What was the other Brit? I helped him get his affiliate by raiding him. Herald of Chaos. I haven't seen Herald of Chaos in a while, to be honest with you. I haven't seen Herald of Chaos in a while. I know that he took a break from streaming and then came back to streaming, but I haven't seen him in a bit. It was Herald of Chaos and Wrathful Monk. They'd usually do like co-streams and stuff together. The pair of them. I know Wrathful Monk still streams every so often as well, but I know that he like moved out and then moved up near Herald somewhere. But you know, thank you for reminding me. You're very, very welcome, buddy. You're very, very welcome. I did enjoy like those times. But yeah, you take it easy. Thanks so much for stopping by. You take it easy. But yeah, Pixie Bomb, if you could tell me what you mean by like one and done, as in, do you mean like you had one orgasm and that was enough, and then you like you got on with the rest of it, or was it a case of like you just did got the deed done and then that was it? Or what was the scenario there? I think that's the bit that I'm getting a bit hung up on. Little bit hung up on. No worries, you take it easy, Dep fan. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thank you, you beautiful queen. You take it easy. Just getting the deed done. Okay, and then took us a bit to push me over the edge, so to speak. Brain kept getting distracted, but once the edge was hopped over, just kept rolling. Never known that feeling before. That sounds like when you say just kept rolling, do you mean that you orgasmed? Is that what you're saying? Because it's definitely like a thing. It's certainly not easy for. It's not normally easy for people with vulvas to hit orgasm, especially just from stuff like penetrative sex. But that sounds like you had like the wave effect, where it just waves and waves and waves and waves over and again, rather than in a rather quick succession. In which case, that sounds like a multiple orgasm. I'm trying to work out like the dynamic there, but that sounds like a multiple orgasm. It sounds like you hit the point of orgasm and then like yeah, it hit in rolls and waves and waves and waves, which is often multiple. A multiple orgasm. And you've never known that feeling before, yeah? Well, now you know you can do it. And that's a really important thing. Once you know that your body can do something, it opens up a lot of doors. There's definitely dynamics in regards to, like, now I know that my body can orgasm the way it did. I'm like, I have so many things that I want to explore. So many things I want to explore, you know? You know? Right, let me catch up a wee bit. Once I had a girlfriend that had to have her hair licked to have fun. Her ear licked to have fun? Yeah, I can understand it. The ear can be a very, very sensitive area. The ear can be a very, very, very sensitive area. And especially, like, there's definitely, like, an element of, like, fetishes around the ears. Like, for those people that are into Star Trek, the Ferengi. The Ferengi. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Ears. You know what I mean? It happens with an awful lot of people. Because they're so sensitive, and also you get like that sort of almost ASMR element of somebody like licking your ears and stuff like that. So yeah, I can understand that. That definitely can be a big kink, and in some cases a fetish for sure. You know. He's currently sat across from him. Thank you very much for getting that consent there, Pixabomb. It's important to me. Important to make sure we get the consents, you know. Okay, there's Calandra asks a Schmex question. Have you ever had a body part or toy trapped by someone with a vulva after they had a particularly earth-shattering orgasm? No. Not trapped. Not trapped. But I can understand how they could be. Because the muscles of a vagina are extremely powerful. As we talked about vaginismus earlier. Like that is the muscles of the vagina going, no, you fucking don't. No. Not a fucking chance. This ain't gonna fucking happen. So I could fully see the power of that being a scenario where it clamps on and will not let go. I will say I've definitely felt like I've definitely had like sexual experiences that have left me feeling like I've got a bruised penis because of the like how much there was a clamp around that. For sure. So I can understand that. But then that might be down to the fact that... Is this too much information on a terms of service scenario? No. Okay, I'm going to say it because it's an educational point of view. Educational scenario, like, I'm very much a grower, not a shower. For those people that don't know, with penises, there's, like... people that have like a smaller penis when it's flaccid, and then it grows in to be a larger penis when it's like fully erect. Whereas there's other people that are showers, which have just got a very large penis. Or I say a very large penis, it doesn't really matter the size, to be honest with you. There's growers that start off in a smaller state, and then as they get aroused, when it goes into full erection, it gets bigger than the state it was in. And then there are people who are showers where it's like, no matter what, how big it is or what have you, when it fills with blood, it just hardens. There's no like getting from small to large. It's just, this is the way it is, you know. So those are the different scenarios, and I could imagine, I could fully picture how somebody with somebody would get caught, but would get, for lack of a better term, trapped within, especially toys as well, trapped within a vagina because of the fact that the orgasm has clamped the muscles that tightly that they can't move, and they can't move the toy, or they can't get the penis out, or what have you. Yeah, I can fully understand that. I could fully picture that. You know, it's kind of wavy like a thunderstorm. It's the best way I can describe it. There's definitely also nerve ends flaring like electricity as well. Maybe a combination of wave and volcano, but I like thunderstorms. Yeah, no, thunderstorm certainly seems to describe that perfectly, Nibiru. That's really cool. I didn't even realize that was a thing, but that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. Is that the only? If you don't mind me asking, and this, I realize this is quite a personal question, but is that the only type of orgasm that you've had? Skyrim has to be the longest game I've ever played, over 2,000 plus hours on the final parts, just leveling up my skills that are now maxed. Well, if you've enjoyed every one of those 2,000 hours, that's amazing. That's fucking amazing. I'm trying to work out what's probably the longest. Actually, do you know what? Hollow Knight might be the longest game that I've ever played. No. Actually, it'll be Red Dead Redemption, won't it? It'll be Red Dead Redemption 2 because of all the roleplay stuff that I did. Well, that says I've only just played 69 minutes of it. I think, yeah, the game that I've played the most is probably Red Dead Redemption 2. But more I've never played the storyline, just all the roleplay stuff. Although saying that, there was that game that I used to play weekly. Excuse me. Elite Dangerous, I've played 117 hours on when we used to play Elite Dangerous. Once upon a time. Oh, there it is. Once upon a time, we played Elite Dangerous weekly. Played 117 hours on that. That's probably about the most I've played on any game, you know? Are you still going to be doing periodic checks to see if people are still enjoying the game for long-form ones, just like you did for Hollow Knight? Yes. Yeah. If I notice, like, Shades, basically it comes down to, if I notice that people are dying off, do you know what? It's not even just long-form games. It's not even just long-form games. It happened with Rise of the Tomb Raider. We played Tomb Raider, the 1990... No, they're not even 98 one, the 2009 one or whatever it was. We played Tomb Raider, and we had a great time. It was glorious and wonderful. And then it was voted for that we play Rise of the Tomb Raider, and we played it, and it was decidedly average. And I noticed that we were on week 5, and I think we were getting like half the viewers that we were getting when we started playing it. And it was like, all right, let me just do a check-in with the community. And I was like, I'm happy to keep playing it. It's not amazing. It's not blowing my mind. But I'm happy to keep playing it for the storyline to get it, like, sort of done and understanding on what's going on there. But the community was just like, yeah, fucking bin this off. It's boring as shit. So I was like, cool. Bin it off. Bin it off. Move on, you know? So it doesn't even have to be long form, to be honest with you. It's just, if I am noticing, which will, actually, it probably will only be long form because it's the only, like, they're the only ones that I'm going to notice are taking their sweet, like, they're the only ones that I'm going to notice any kind of drop off in numbers, I would imagine. But yeah, that kind of thing, you know? That kind of thing. What the vote shows, you can try to do all 3 ways of gaming, and then afterwards look at the charts, which is most popular in reality. Yeah, I could. I'll try this one first, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. You know. What about We Happy Few? Will that be moved over to Tuesday after you finish Hollow Knight? I'll put it up for the vote, All-Star Gamer Girl. I probably won't do it straight away, because of the fact that I need a bit of a break from it, because I am not used to playing a game week on week on week on week for 13, 14 weeks straight. I am not used to that at all. I'm used to playing a game for like 5 weeks, possibly 6 weeks, and then that's it. You know, so by the time we got to the end of that first storyline in We Happy Few, I was like, I need a break. I need to not be playing this game for a while. So it might not be in the next vote, but it might be in like the vote afterwards. I'll put it back on there and be like, do we finish We Happy Few? Though saying that, I don't know. Let's have a look, see. All right, cool. Average was main story was 20 hours. Main story plus extras was 41 hours. I am assuming these are like average game times, completion times. I am assuming that the main story was Arthur's, and the extras are the other people's storylines. I'm assuming there might be more than that. If there's one, two, however many. So yeah. If there's gonna be another 20 hours on it, then it'll have to be a long form game, and I will add it not to the next one, but I'll
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
36 months Valen. 36. We've now known each other for 3 years and each one has been an absolute joy. Love you, friend.
Oh my god, BG. 36 months. 36 months! 3 whole years! People go check out Babbling Goat. Do yourself a favor, go and check out Babbling Goat. Babbling Goat is a fucking phenomenal... Oh, how's it going, Lady Clear? Babbling Goat is a phenomenal human being. LGBTQIA lecturer. A great human being. An impeccable sense of fashion. A wonderful human being who we love very dearly and deserves your love and attention. Babbling Goat, your name is now described on the mirror of Vane, which means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror, and go, God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Oh, yes, meow. You know? You know? For lack of a better way to put it, quickies. No, that makes sense. Thank you very much for clearing that up. Nikki Dala, how you doing? How's it going? Grand Zenarch, come here, you cheeky devil. Come here, you. What do you like claiming cheeky kisses, you cheeky individual? People with vulvas can orgasm, continue stimulation, and achieve another orgasm. Not always, Kino Wolfie. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Because there are some people out there who, the more that you continue a certain type of stimulation, the more oversensitive an area becomes, and it then just becomes painful. So, continuous stimulation of a specific area is not always the key to orgasm. Not always the key to orgasm. You've got to learn your own body and learn the bodies of the consensual adults that you decide to go with. Do you know what I mean? Continuous stimulation does usually lead to orgasm. Continuous stimulation in some way, shape, or form. But you've got to be careful about achieving another orgasm. There's definitely been people I've been with where you stimulate a great, they hit the orgasm, and then they become too sensitive. And they don't need more stimulation on that area. They need a break. They need to just tantalize other areas. They need everything to calm down in that area before you can go back to that stimulation. You know? Now you're grinning like a loon. That's fine. Grin away is well worth it, you know? Forgot about the Ferengi ear massages. Yeah. Watched that as a child. I really didn't get it. No. The Ferengi ear massage is definitely a thing. Definitely a thing. And I didn't get it, but I certainly do now. I certainly do now. You know? So can people with penises? Most certainly. Most certainly. It's entirely possible to have multiple rounds
it's
of
a raid.
engagement.
Flee!
My God! Oh, this is a name from the ages. A name from the ancient times. Ladies and gentlemen and all genders outside and in between. Delve deep into your pits of popcorn and throw them at the raiders, throw them at these cheeky devils. Look at these people coming in here. I mean, really, could you even imagine? Who do they think they are? Good lord, it's Tainted Filth, the Filthy Legion. Hello, you beautiful individuals. Haven't been able to raid you in a long time. Fucking hell, how you doing, Tainted Filth? How are you doing, you beautiful bean? I was watching you the other week. And I cannot remember for the life of me what you were playing now. I came in and you were playing... I want to say you were a priest and it was old graphics, but I feel like that might have been even longer ago. And I feel more recently it might have been a shooty game. I can't remember. Anyway, people, pervert, you know it. Watch you. I was watching you. Watching you from my sultry dark cave. Look, it's so dark and mysterious. Ooh. People, go check out the glorious Tainted Filth. Thank you very much, mods, for the shout out there. Go check out the glorious Tainted Filth. Tainted Filth is a phenomenal human being. There's a lot of aggro plays of various different things. Plays a large range of variety of very aggressive games. Very high action, intense, in your face, fucking exquisite games. And then every so often played Metal Gear Solid, which I thoroughly enjoyed your playthroughs of. Just like, okay, this is like calming, but then soon, then calming, and then calming. You know, it was very, very cool. It was very, very cool. But people, go check them out. People, if you are new here, welcome on in. Welcome on in, friends. If you're new here, 2 things you need to know about this channel. 1, you're not allowed to apologize. Fubpar, individuals, fubpar. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. It'll make you a much more positive individual. 2, if you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. I've got to ask you to leave, for I am a colossal filth wizard. I don't want to be corrupting the ears of the young. It's not what I'm about. No, you cheeky devils. Not what I'm about at all. Though you should definitely not be here if you are under the age of 18 from the Tainted Filth community. That human being swears like a trooper. Swears like an old dock worker. Do you know what I mean? On the calm one now, playing Baldur's Gate 3. The no in your face stuff. Oh, that's cool. How are you finding it? A friend of mine does is the voice of the narrator, and it's like everyone that I know that has played it has said it's absolutely amazing. You're loving the game, you like it so much. This is great. This is great to hear. I'm so happy to hear that. The narrator is spot on. That's Amelia Tyler. Amelia Tyler is a phenomenal voice actor. Let me jump onto the Twitters because I refuse to call it X. And I'm not going to say that. That's secrets. That is secrets. Secrets. Real secrets. Here you are, friends. Boop. There you go. That is Amelia Tyler. That is the narrator of Baldur's Gate 3. She also plays Hecate in Hades 2, which is coming out soonish. And she plays a few people in Pathfinder and DOS 2. Don't know what DOS 2 stands for, but anyway. You get to fucking know them. Anyway, you know, that's cool. You're moving to Australia? To Australia? If you don't mind me asking, and you do not have to answer this question, what takes you over to the other side of the world? What takes you over to the other side of the world, you glorious bean? Tell me more. As it is, do you know what I mean? How's it going, Lady Cleo? Hello, you beautiful bean. I'm trying to catch up with chat a wee bit, but as per usual, I am way behind. Do you know what I mean? 3rd day of sick leave, logged into my work laptop to send my boss an overtime hours for the last 2 weeks. Had 32 emails. Jesus Christ. Do you know what? That happens an awful lot. People are like, oh, they'll just pick it up when they get back. And it's like, no. They're away. They're away from laptop. They're sick leave. Fuck off. Leave them to it. Jesus Christ. Fuck off. You know? How's it going? How you doing? Longest logged hours is Terraria, 6,200. Jesus Christ. 6 of the emails are daily reports I worked on. A few of them were Teams messages while I was offline. Several of them were from training advisors about completion credits for apprentices. Jesus. Just tell them all to fuck off. Do you know what I mean? So moving over there as I need a new job, plus better for the little one too. She's hits 2 in 2 months. Good lord. That's amazing. Fucking hell. That's really, really cool though. If you're going over there to work and stuff, that's awesome. I have, in fact, every single one of my friends that has gone over to Australia to work has absolutely loved living there. And they have not come back. They haven't come back. They've had a wonderful time. One of my ex-partners is over there as well from years and years and years and years ago. And yeah, she just popped over and hasn't returned. She was just like, I fucking love it here. I'm like, good for you. I'm glad to hear. Glad you're doing well for yourself, you know. In fact, most of that was map making hours. Used to make custom maps inside games for people or challenges. Play for fun hours. Oh, that's really cool. I like the fact that you can do stuff like that, though. I really like the fact that you can do stuff like that, you know? You can still count your sexual experiences with my fingers, and I do not even need all of them, so yes, it was only the one. That's fair. That's not a problem. By any stretch of imagination. And to be fair, like, I think my question was more along the lines. By the way, we've been talking about orgasms pretty much all night for all those wonderful raiders that have popped in. And by the way, Tainted Filth, if you need to disappear off, if you need to pop off and like grab a snaffly treat or a delightful beverage of some description, please go and do so. Thank you so much for bringing your people over. It means a lot to me that you, after all this time that you choose to bring your people over here, you glorious individual. A long time. Been a long time since I've... Do you know what? The weird thing was, as soon as you came in, as soon as I saw your name...
Subscribed. That's kind.
I love your glorious face, Val.
Oh, you. Oh, you. As soon as I saw your face, like, your name pop in, it was like raiding, the Tainted Filth is raiding. I was just like, I heard immediately going, Veiny baby! Veiny baby! I was just like, fucking hell. That is ingrained in my fucking memory. Ingrained in my memory, all right? It's all good. Was doing a one-off cast time stream with booze. So I'll finish my drink with you. That's entirely fair. That is entirely fair. I appreciate the company. Ditzy Kitty, I shall now describe your name upon the mirror. Vane. By having your name upon the mirror vein, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror. Good God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, harra, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow. You know? Yeah, now? Ladies and gentlemen in all genders outside and in between, Tainted Filth has redeemed a Praise the Mods. Could you do me a massive favor and throw out some mod loves in the channel? You can use any kind of mod loves from any kind of channel. You can use any kind of love hearts from any kind of channel. Say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators. Mods, thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for the stuff you do in stream and out of stream. I appreciate you, you beautiful beings. I appreciate you. And I would... People, come on, get on board. Get on board. Oh, the delay. It's fine. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, my question around that, Nibirin, was more along the lines of whether you had caused it yourself or whether somebody else had caused that effect within you. And again, you do not have to answer this question. I'm asking very personal questions here, friends, you know? I could never get into it like that. I like building, though. Didn't understand what was meant, or you were meant to do. A lot of games can be like that, where there is no specific purpose of things. You just kind of get on with, like oxygen not included, like don't starve, like what's the other one? Set on a post-apocalyptic world, you build a base, you got little Lego peoples. Fuck, what's it called? It's like Prison Simulator. Not Prison Simulator, like Prison Architect. Same style as Prison Architect. I think it might even be made by the same people of not Oxygen Not Included. Not Terraria. RimWorld. RimWorld! That's the one I mean. That's the one I mean. How's it going, Authenticator? How you doing, you beautiful bean? That's cool. Do we need a vote for the long games? Do we finish these? Oh yeah, no, we will always, if it's a game that I'm enjoying, All-Star Gamer Girl, and there isn't like an immediate like thing for. Okay, let me update people. Friends, if you haven't been around on what have you, we are changing the way that we do gaming in September. So as of the beginning of September, we're going to be changing the way we do gaming on No worries, you take it easy, Teddy Phil. Thanks so much for bringing your people here. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Have a glorious time, and I hope everything goes really, really well with the move over to Australia. I hope everything goes really smoothly, you beautiful beings. Sounds like it's going to be an amazing time. Sounds going to be an amazing time, all right? You take it easy. Yeah, we're going to be changing the way we do gaming in September. So every Tuesday is going to be a long game, and every Wednesday is going to be a short game. So every Tuesday at the moment we're playing like Hollow Knight, and anything that lasts over 4 weeks we'll play on Tuesdays. Anything that lasts under 4 weeks we'll play on, like gameplay wise, we'll play on Wednesdays. So that there is always a turnover of different games happening on the channel, and we're not sat here doing the same games for 6 months in a row. Do you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So yeah. What was I doing? Yeah, the vote for the long games? No, I think so long as I'm enjoying a long game, I will keep playing it. As long as I'm enjoying a long game and people are still watching it, I will keep playing it. If it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, people don't seem to be watching it as much as they used to be, I'll do a vote like I did with Hollow Knight. And if people want me to keep playing it, then I'll keep playing it. And if people don't want me to keep playing it, then I'll stop playing it. Hollow Knight was a surprise. I genuinely thought people were going to say, no, we don't want any more Hollow Knight. And people loved it. People were all about it. I was like, all right, cool. No worries. Keep playing. Keep going, you know? Keep going. How's it going, Balinko? How you doing? How you doing? You are phenomenal. I am phenomenal. It's true. It's very, very true. I'm a very pretty person. Let me just quickly whip up here. Cool. Just double checking I was up to date with both sets of chat, because I have multiple sets of chat. But both, do you know what? I had my streaming rig set up, and I've used the same sort of style of streaming rig for a really long period of time. All right, I know where my screens are. I know where everything is. I'm pretty clued up on all the bits and pieces and what have you. However, like Chunk, when Chunk moved in and saw my rig, he was like, what the fuck? How do you keep track of all of this stuff that's going on? And I'm like, it's very simple. Like, I've got a screen here that has all of my bits and pieces on it. I've got a screen over here that's just so that I can keep an eye on chat in case there's any raids that come in, or in case there's any trolls that come in. And then I'd like do all the various different bits and pieces, you know? And then I was like, all right, it's just Chunk. It's just Chunk that finds all of this stuff confusing, all right? And then Lady Cleo visited on Monday and was like, oh my fucking god, how do you keep track of everything? And I'm like, what do you mean how? It's all there. All of the information is right here in front of me. I didn't think it looked that complex. Everything makes sense to my fucking brain. Do you know what I mean? Is my desk clean? My desk is pretty clean. The only things that are currently on my desk are threads that Chunk was using for some of the patches. Chunk's doing a Red Dwarf themed quiz tonight. And he's... Yeah, he went full cosplay. He went full cosplay. So I'm not going to tell you what happened or anything like that, but he had an outfit. He had a full outfit ready for it. It was great. Looked really, really good. Looked really, really good. So yeah. 3 years feels wicked. It feels so long, but it doesn't feel like I've like known you that long. It's wild the way that perception of time works like that, right? Wild the way that the perception of time works like that. Ditsy Kitty, did I inscribe your name upon the mirror of Vane? I did. Okay, we're all right. Now. Fucking hell. Panicked for a second. I was like, oh my god, have I made you wait 7 minutes to be inscribed on the mirror of Vane? Good lord. What is this? You know? Come on, playing Baldur's Gate, yeah. When the streamer watches you back, it happens. I don't often say hello in people's streams because I am so busy doing things. And I don't want to get distracted from what I'm doing. But I watch a lot of people. I watch many members of this community. Many members of this community just sit and lurk in the background. Depending on what time it is, depending on what else I'm doing, depending on whether I need to concentrate or not. You know? Twitch has unfollowed you for me. I hate when it does that. And Twitch does do that. Please do not be under any illusion, friends, that Twitch does. Like, if you haven't tuned into somebody for a while or whatever it will unfollow you. Don't know whether it's a glitch, don't know whether it's a design thing, but it will. 100%. So if you haven't tuned into somebody's stream for a while, might as well go check and just make sure you're still following them, you know? You know? Have you played Five Nights at Freddy's? I have not played Five Nights at Freddy's. I can't say it's one that has grabbed my attention. It's not. Divinity Original Sin 2? Of course. Grand Zen Arc, of course. That makes a lot more sense. I can't say the Five Nights at Freddy's one that's grabbed me. The whole mascot thing, because I love horror games, friends. I have to say, I do love horror games. I do love my horror games. And I would like to point out that regardless, even like during spooky season, like October and stuff like that, I will only ever play one horror game at a time. So if I'm playing a horror game on a Tuesday, I will not be playing a horror game on a Wednesday, so that we are never excluding people in the community that don't like horror games. All right, let that be clear. But yeah, I do like my horror games. I like my mascot. Well, I've seen a lot of the mascot games and stuff like that, but I like Five Nights at Freddy's is not one that has grabbed my attention. Sitting in a security booth type thing, I don't know, it's just not grabbed me the way that it may well have done other people, you know. But I hear that the franchise has expanded from then and become like there's one where you're trying to escape the Freddy's establishment, the Freddy's park or whatever you call it, which that interests me a lot more. That interests me a lot more, you know. Your wife's Australian. She's lived here with me for 6 years now. So you're moving over there and you do. Oh, that's really fucking cool. I know that Taint Phil's gone now, but yeah, Security Breach. That's the one, Nibirin. That's the one. Yeah, Security Breach. I'd be tempted to play that, but I am also very well aware that it's possible that you need to play Five Nights at Freddy's to fully get all of the information about Security Breach. You know. Yeah, no. Then use security to go out for a change. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Funnily enough, Divinity Original Sin 2 is made by the same people that made Baldur's Gate 3. Ah, that would explain a lot of things. It's all good. I was doing a one-off cast. Yeah. Yeah, I read that. All the mod loves. Cool. When you said sexual experience, I mean with other people. Masturbation bores me. I cannot stay on it long enough to get anywhere. I have so many questions. I will not interrogate you like the Spanish Inquisition and stuff like that. But I mean, if it bores you, then that's fair enough. That is entirely legit. I often find that, or I have found in the past, that people that enjoy sex and enjoy things like that, but don't like masturbation, usually haven't found a specific way of masturbating or a specific toy that helps them get off in the way that sexual experiences do. That's my experience. But I'm certainly not going to turn around and say, like, be that fucking guy who's like, well, you just don't know how to fucking do it. You know what I mean? Because there's far too many fucking dickheads like that in the world, all right? Like, if it bores you, then it bores you. That's fair enough. That is entirely legit. But I will always encourage people to explore themselves more and try with different things. Try with different things to see what it's like. See if there's things that might hit those spots for you, you know. But fully respect wishes. Do you know what I mean? Dearest Van, I finally found the gift for your birthday. Do you still have a PO box? I do not have a PO box, Unicorn Mom. It is on my list of things to do. It is on my list of things to do, but they are real expensive. Oh, they're really expensive. The one that I was using was great and fantastic, but they weren't happy. They couldn't take in packages that I didn't know what was in it, and that was extremely frustrating. because nothing could ever be a surprise. And I ended up having big arguments with them, and they just didn't have any of it. So I want to get a PO box, not just because people from this community send me stuff, but also because there's more and more companies that are wanting to send me things, and I get a little uncomfortable with some of these companies just directly having my like, especially if I don't know the company very well, just directly having my address and stuff, or the address of the studio space. Do you know what I mean? It's just like you know. Ooh. If you get an erection that lasts for more than 4 weeks, you might need to stop playing with it. It's true. It's very, very true. To be honest with you, there's a thing that I am so unbelievably consciously aware of that a lot of people don't seem to know of, especially people without penises. A prolonged erection, having an erection for a prolonged period of time, is fucking painful. It becomes like a dull ache. You know, like when you've been working out at the gym or something, or you've been for a run, or you've been doing some kind of physical exercise, but you've been doing it just a little bit too long, to the point where your muscle burns and it aches and it feels like it's been bruised. Imagine that in your nether regions. Purely because of the fact that you have been too stimulated or too excited or too aroused there for too long. Like, it's just not pleasant. Just not pleasant. How's it going, Mizuki? Can I get a shout out for Mizuki, please? I would very, very much appreciate that. I'd very, very much appreciate that. You know? But yes, I need to get a PO box, Unicorn Mom, because I am all too aware that, thank you very much, people go check out Misuki. I was watching Misuki all day today, playing the new Dead Space, having a great time. Half of it worked. Hold on. Disconnect the bot. Reconnect the bot. Could you try again for me, please, Semba? That would be wonderful. There we go. People go check out Misuki. Click on the link down here. Click on the link, do the thing, do the bits and pieces. Misuki's glorious. I watch Misuki frequently. Does an awful lot of spooky games, horror games, although they themselves are very PG, which I find hilarious. The juxtaposition of that, I find hilarious. So, yeah. Go do it. Go do the thing. I love Misuki. Misuki's great. Misuki is great. We talk about that. Okay, we'll talk about those things in a minute. But I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? We were talking. I need more monitors. I would love one more monitor, Nibirin. I could honestly, if I could have one monitor here, that would be the perfect setup for me. A vertical monitor here, my main monitor, a side monitor, and then just one up here that I could just keep like Discord and stuff on. That would be perfect. That would honestly be my perfect setup. But I'm not at that point yet. 4 monitors, and I can guarantee that by the time I get 4 monitors, I'll want another one. Do you know what I mean? But first, I want to get the like my next big like setup purchase is definitely a sit-stand desk, so that I can actually walk around and I can move about and I can like flex and bend and move and get my fucking joints working again. You know. My desk is clean. My desk is very, very clean. I've got nothing on. I've got some fancy things. Ooh. Fancy Lavalier mags, the wireless go-to. I splashed out and got the Rode wireless microphones. And by splashed out, I mean I definitely messaged a mate of mine who was like, hey, do you still have these? So before I buy them for myself, I can test them out and check that they work and I like them and stuff like that, instead of just going and buying more microphones that I don't fucking like and end up hating. Because I've done that many times before, you know? And so he's lent me those in order to test them out and see what's going on, what have you. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So I need a new desk because yes, I did break it on the birthday stream. Thank you very much. And if you're in redeeming the donor goal with speech, you shit. Friends, as you may have seen on the birthday stream, I sat on the corner of this desk and it buckled. This is a very, very old desk. I have had this, like an L-shaped desk, and I have had this desk for about 10 years. And it has served me well for the 10 years that I have had it. However, I want to get up and I want to move around and I want to be able to do stuff while stood up as well as while sat down. And I feel like one of the greatest ways of being able to do that would be a sit-stand desk. Behold, the new donation. I say the new donation. It's been there for a little while now, which is fine, which is okay. We don't need people to donate in. All right, people have already been far too kind. Earlier on, I got a fucking amazing gift from Max Wattage, gifting a ridiculous amount of fucking stuff. All right, putting a ridiculous amount of money towards the thing. I do not need any more donations, but I have to talk about it because that is the rules of the donor goal with speech. Okay, so this is the donation goal. It's there. That is what we're raising money for next, and done. Yeah. Okay. Done. Okay. Sorted. Moving swiftly on, although that's going to be there for another 10 minutes, but moving swiftly on. The only reason I screamed at you when I saw your setup is the USB thing that happened, and we will not speak of it again. Yep, no, that's entirely legit. That is entirely fair, Simba. That is entirely fair. Need to see your setups to see if Chunk is correct on what they say, honestly. Sure. Give me... Okay. I'll do it this way. Is it just better to... What happens if I do this? And then if I do... this? It's not quite like that. I can do... Is it easier just to... I just print screened everything and it didn't quite work. It doesn't give like a good view of everything. Let me take a photo. And then I can send it to myself. Just need this. Attach photograph. That looks really confusing in the photograph. It looks really confusing, but it really isn't that confusing. All right, I can talk you through it. I can talk you through it. Okay, it's not gonna be all right. Smile, everyone. That looks so confusing, but it really isn't. It really isn't. It's nowhere near as confusing as it looks. All right? So it looks pretty confusing. But this is my setup. I've got Discord down here. Ooh, hello. Not that one. I've got Discord down here. I've got my OBS up here with all the bits and pieces. Then I've got my Twitch dashboard, which just covers all the stuff in the middle there. And then I've got my Firebot over here and my Pretzel Rocks over here. And then, like, usually behind Pretzel Rocks at the moment, Pretzel Rocks is in the front of it, but normally I have Task Manager just in front of my Pretzel Rocks here. If I was playing a game, I do the game on the main screen and I move the entire, I move this entire section here over to this screen here. So I move the Twitch dashboard over to this section. That way I can keep an eye on chat here. This is my up-to-date chat. This is the chat that's always up to date. And then I have a, this is the chat that I scroll through to try and catch up with everything. So these have got a chat that I've got up to date in case I need to check out for any
It's a raid.
trolls.
Flee! Flee!
Oh my lordy. Check out for any trolls, check out for any raids. Like this one. This cheeky little raid that's coming in here. Oh my lordy, ladies and gentlemen, and all genders outside and in between.
Yeah,
Don't deep
you
into your bits of
subscribed.
popcorn.
Most kind.
I'm back and I'm making it everyone's problem.
I can see that. I can see that they're making it everyone's problem. People go check out the wonderful Abby Stabby Art. Abby Stabby Art is a phenomenal human being. The mother of Dear Monty and a lot, in fact, nearly all of our wonderful emotes. The glorious being that is Abby Stabby, you glorious individual. I will now inscribe your name upon the Mirror of Fate. People, if you are new here, two things you need to know about this channel. One, you're not allowed to apologize. Folk power individuals, folk power. Instead of saying sorry, try saying thank you. Instead of saying sorry, I'm late, say thanks for waiting. Instead of saying sorry, I'm such a burden, say thanks for being there for me. Make you a much more positive individual. Two, if you're under the age of 18, I have to ask you to leave. I've got to ask you to leave, for I am a colossal filth wizard. I don't want to be corrupting the ears of the young. It's not what I'm about. No, 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 no. Abby Stabby Art, I shall now inscribe your name upon the Mirror of Fate. By having your name upon the Mirror of Fate, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil, and of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you gotta roll over every morning, look in the mirror, go, God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, sexy. Ooh, yes, meow. Do you want to also know what Abby is responsible for? If any of you have these spare channel points and would like to do so, you can go into the channel point redemptions and specifically pick the nightmare. You can specifically pick the nightmare. I will leave that open to you if you would like to do it. If you would like to do it. No, but it's just that is a thing. People go cheer out Abby Stabby Art. Abby Stabby Art is a phenomenal human being, a phenomenal artist, an amazing corrupted individual who possibly needs our Lord Jeezy Queasy or Cthulhu, one of the two. Do you know what I mean? Do you see me meeting my giant at Sun Up Bloodstock? I did indeed see you meeting your giant Sun Up Bloodstock. What were you up to today? Well, you've sent me a message, so I'm assuming this... Oh, no, this is you meeting your giant son at Bloodstock. Your giant son at Bloodstock. I will show this. There we go. So you can show the people. This is Abby Stabby Art's animation, cartoon, illustration that had been converted into a giant mascot. You drew a Norman comic? What was the Norman comic about? Tell me more! Tell me more! We were just talking about my setup. My setup, which I don't know why I came back over to this one, because we can do it, do you know what I mean? So, this is my setup. But yeah, so normally when I game, this entire screen goes over to this screen here. And then I have the game in the main monitor. And then if like the chat's going too fast, then I can whip over and check the chat over here and see the more information, which is why you'll see me bouncing around and my head popping all over the place and what have you, you know? So yeah, so that is my setup. Norman stealing my merch haul from Bloodstock and calling me crispy because I got sunburned. That's hilarious. Did you actually get sunburned as well? Did you actually get sunburned? That is absolutely hysterical. I love this. I love this information. I love this information. But yes, welcome on in, you beautiful beings. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Abby Stabby, if you need to disappear off, grab some kind of snaffly treat, grab some kind of delightful beverage, then please do so. Please go and look after yourself. Make sure you're okay. Make sure you're all right. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so like that setup there, if I could have a monitor just above the two little monitors, so that I could like put my Discord and stuff up there, that would be perfect. Because that would give me the freedom to be able to see everything even when I'm gaming. That is the ideal. That is the ideal, you know? That is the ideal. Lurking and working, no areas. You take it easy. You take it easy. The monitors need to match the amount of mirrors that I have. I had one monitor, and I always knew that I needed two. When I got two monitors, I was like, a third would be very convenient. Now I've got three monitors. I'm like, a fourth would be perfect. I don't think there is enough stuff for me to need a fifth, like ever. At the moment, the fourth would just be like, a fourth monitor would just be like, I need this because, like, when I move everything around to do gaming, there's other stuff that I would like to keep an eye on. Whereas a fourth monitor would just give me that freedom, that flexibility, you know? I don't think I'd need five. Five would just be a bit too much, you know? You know? Would not say that's necessary. Say it. How's it going, technically, Egg? You are a glorious individual. Welcome on in. Welcome back, Eris. Misuki, you beautiful being. I'm way behind in chat, friends. I'm trying to catch up a bit. We're doing all right. We're doing okay. But I didn't find them when you were here. Oh, yeah, that's all right. That's not a problem, Unicorn Mom. I will be getting a PO box because it's good. It's good to have a PO box. I know there's plenty of people in this community that want to send me things, and like I said, it's good for working with other companies for them to send me things as well, just to have a PO box that I can just go and empty, you know. Red Queen Rhonda, hello, you beautiful being. Welcome back in. Maintained the UPS store mailbox as my business mailbox address for years. For that exact reason. Business is business. Personal is personal. They don't need to know where I live. Yes. Oh, God, yes. For me, Tamaz, it's also the fact that, like, an awful lot of the emails and stuff that I get are all fine and dandy. But with me being a sex educator, some of the emails get really sketchy. And you've got to be really careful about how I read them. The language that they use, the kind of little things that are like in business, specifically the sex industry, where like in business terminology that people use and stuff like that. Because I can't guarantee that somebody isn't masquerading as a business. I can't guarantee that somebody isn't pretending to be a business to find out my address because they want to hurt me, they want to stalk me, they don't like the work that I do, to fucking swat me. Do you know what I mean? There's so many risks with that. So I've got to be really fucking careful with stuff like that. And because there are people out there that would do that. There are 100% people out there that would do that. You know? You're pretty great, but you're absolutely majestic. I just certainly try. I'm feeling pretty majestic today, to be honest with you. Feeling pretty damn good about life. Mizuki's fabulous, beautiful being inside and out. Most certainly. Right, I'm 14 minutes behind in chat. I'm gonna whip down a wee bit. To be fair, the desk had it coming. The desk did have it coming. This desk is an old desk. It's an old desk. It's an old boy. It needs a bit of TLC. A little bit of TLC, you know? Coming back to Valen intensely staring within the camera. My God. I actually smiled. And then, damn it, such a long day. That's all right. That's okay. Smile. It's all good. Did I get your good side, Fish Pancake? I always get your good side. Why? Because every side is your good side. Every side is your good side, you know? got our good sides. Oh, 100%. Do you know what I mean? We're just veting? Is that like voguing? Eating whilst voguing? I could see that being a thing.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Eris! What is this, please? What is this?
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
45 months fucking hell, how the time has flown. Also 130 days till Christmas, and today I have these huge mushrooms for dinner. Yum ho Paul as well.
Why? Why do I put up with you like this, Luke? Why do I put up with you like this? God damn it. Eris told me coming in with the 5 gifted subs, straight up followed with Lucas Bond with the 45 months. Good lord, that's such an outrageous amount of time. Right, hold on, let me do these gifted subs first. Right, hold on. The first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. And then Lucas Bond. Coming in for the 45 months. That is an outrageous amount of time. And Eris told me with the 5 gifted subs out of fucking nowhere. God damn it, you people are far too fucking kind to me. By having your names upon the mirror of Vayne, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat, not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devils. And of course, you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you go roll over every morning, look in the mirror. Oh God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, harra, sexy. Oh, yes, meow, you know? Right, friends. We were just talking about P.O. boxes, and that has led me on to a thing. Okay? Because I realized that it's fast approaching, and I didn't even realize it was fast approaching. Are you ready for the next party? Are you ready for the next Cult of Vayne party? On stream. On stream party. Very important. Never not ready for a party? Because the next one is coming up. The next one is coming up. In fact, you know what? Let me just find out exactly how long it's been. The 29th of September.
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
For a month and a half, Julian. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right with you, you beautiful bean. Month and a half. A year and a half, should I say. A month and a half, dear lord. On the 29th of September, it will be our 5-year streamiversary. The 29th of September is our 5-year streamiversary. We streamed for 5 years. Half a decade. Half a decade I have been streaming. But that is the next party. So we're on the 29th of September. It'll be a Friday night. Friday the 29th of September. The week after Ken, we will be doing a 5-year streamiversary celebration. Okay, literally, the 29th of September 2018 was the first ever stream. Was my first ever stream. Watching old clips. I don't even know whether they'll exist. Let me see. Yeah, I think we might go through some old clips. Should we have a look? Should we have a look at an old clip? My oldest clip? This is not my oldest clip. This is the second oldest clip. God, my hair is so short.
All of her friends all agreed. They were like, Valen, yeah, I'd totally fuck him, but I don't know why. Because apparently, I'm not anybody's type. I'm nobody's type, but everyone would sleep with me. I'm okay with this. Naturally, who wouldn't be okay with that?
There you go. That was 5 years ago. That was 2018. Can I get the exact date? That was the 11th of October, 2018. So that was like one of my first ever streams. That was when I was still in the wardrobe. That was like literally when I was still in the wardrobe. Like I started streaming in my wardrobe. Fuck me. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll go through some old clips. Fuck it. Let's do it. Jesus Christ. All right. That's going to be different. That's going to be an interesting one, you know. You know. Vigorous amounts of sunburn because I'm a silly goose. Aw, Abby Stabby, come on. You should know better. You should know better, you silly goose. It's nice to see I'm not the only person that uses an upright mouse. No. Dapper Dame was the first person I know that used one of these. And then Finley Short Stuff, I believe, also uses one. And they were massively recommending it. And I was like, oh, I will have a look. And then I was like, oh, shit. No, it's actually very cool. Yeah. Ergonomic mouse to... itchy armpit. Ergonomic mouse to do all the good things for your wrist and stuff, you know? Is there a pro to using an upright mouse compared to a normal mouse? Yes, it's good for your wrist. So my wrist is always like this. Whereas when you're like this, you're twisting your wrist. You're twisting your wrist, and it affects the muscles, and that's why you get like carpal tunnel and shit like that. Using it like when you've got a mouse that is like this, and you're moving it on a flat surface like that, you don't twist your wrist as much, and you're less likely to get carpal tunnel. And wrist strain and various other things that go on with people that use mice too much and what have you. This one I found really, really good. It's rechargeable. I had no real issue with it. It's just nice. It's good. It's all right. Does what it needs to do, you know. Help with wrist issues. Honestly, could not see myself going back to a standard mouse. Yeah, I couldn't see myself going back to a standard mouse at all. I like this shit. You know. You know. Oh, you know, causing chaos. Naturally, just causing chaos. Eating. I have my pressings on, and my notebook keyboard is not made for these. It's an odd letter. That's all right. That's okay. You do your thing. I just thought you were enjoying voguing while eating, you know? I just thought you were just going right for it, you know? You know? Flails the party kazoos? Yeah. I don't know how we're going to do the party yet. I'll work it all out later. But we will... Will you twisting your waist? Thanks, Nibirin. Full fucking ooh there, god damn it. Dabbing while eating. You are trying to convince me to dab. I have not dabbed once. Oh no, I've dabbed once in my entire life. And that was live on stream, and it was a charity redemption. I will not be tricked into dabbing all these years onwards. All these years onwards, I will not be tricked into dabbing, alright? Alright? They might do. Legit thought my screen froze for a second. How's that question? Yes. Oh my god. Look at the dragon too. The dragon's behind me, actually. Because I brought it down from upstairs. Yeah, the dragon's... I've had this for fucking years and years and years and years and years. But, yeah, at one stage I was really into these, like, stone look dragons. I was, like, really, really into them. And this was the biggest of my collection. This was the biggest of my collection. Down there for now. But yeah, it was big. It was the big baby. It was my big baby, you know? You know? The shirt. Oh, the shirt. Yeah. I've still got that. It's a blouse. It's upstairs. Still got it. Still own it. Still own it, you know? Val and the Dragon and the wardrobe. I mean, to be fair, yeah. That should have been the name of my first ever stream, really, shouldn't it? The Val and the Dragon and the wardrobe. Luke's followed for 3 years, 10 months, 21 days. I think Defected was the longest. It's probably long. Apart from like people like Toblikai. Toblikai popped in earlier. And I think they might have been one of the earliest people. Because Toblikai I know in Meatbag World. He's like one of my oldest friends. And he was one of the people that helped me get onto streaming in the first place. Him and Graham's Trash, which we don't see very often these days, which is fine. Like they got lives, you know. Was it this one? No idea. I was trying to find like some of the founder badges. Find out who exactly has the founder badges in order to find out who my oldest viewers were. But fuck knows where that setting is. It'll be in here somewhere. Be in there somewhere. Somewhere around these parts. Doesn't matter. So the subscription analytics with your... Oh, Jesus Christ. Brentley, who pops around every so often, was one of my earliest ones. There you go. There's the day that I became an affiliate, was the 9th of October. So I started streaming on the 29th of September, and I made affiliate on the 9th of October, because they are my earliest my earliest subscribers. Fucking hell. I'm a bit flabbergasted, if I'm honest with you. It's been so fucking long that I've been streaming. I'm just like taken back by it all, you know? Just taken back by it all. Oh, because we entertaining the stream surroundings and setup challenge. Yeah, exactly, right? It'd be fucking wild to go back that far. 5 years. It'll be wild to go back that far. I just really want to see the old Twitch clips. I want to see what Valen was like back then compared to now. Yeah, well, I mean, we can certainly go through like a handful of each of them. I'll see if I can spend some time going through and just picking out a few that I enjoy, or we'll do like a couple of random ones or something, you know? You know? One causing chaos, you all be worried. This is true. This is very, very true. Dabbing while eating? Good lord. Good, dabbing? Really? How's it going, Wild Squeak? Hello, you beautiful being. Look pretty. Thank you very much. I was recording a podcast earlier today. Not one of my podcasts, a podcast for another company, another group of peoples.
Oh, you
we had a great time.
Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much, you beautiful being. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I don't like to call people out just in case they're lurking, but you're very welcome here. You're very, very welcome. Welcome on in. Yeah, I was recording a podcast episode for, I can't tell you what they're called because they haven't announced me yet, but that should be released. Actually, funnily enough, I think that episode is actually due to be released on my streamiversary. So that's hilarious. I'll double check that. But yeah, I was recording a podcast earlier with these beautiful, beautiful individuals talking about sex and BDSM and kink and fetish and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, naturally I dressed up to it because I wanted to. No other reason than that. Don't need another reason than that. You know. Something I mentioned that I like gargoyles, and now everyone buys me little stone-looking gargoyles. Not complaining at all, really. It's entirely fair. It's entirely fair. Work has been mad, but Friday tomorrow, yes, Luke. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Tomorrow I've got a dentist appointment first thing in the morning, and then there's a octopus and dragon thing happening in the later on in the evening. But I know, like, most Stefel's coming to visit for the weekend, so well, I'll see how I'm feeling when it comes to that. I would like to tune into it, but more important to spend time with her. More important to spend time with her, you know? Unsure if I've mentioned, but my best friend of 30 years and I have purchased new builds together. Construction starts next month. Should be completed by May 24. Congratulations, Nikki Dala. Congratulations. That's amazing news. That is absolutely amazing news. Did it Google? Those are the Twitch themselves, so it's not right, then I don't know what. No, I found it. I did find it. Thanks to that. Thank you very much, Brox. I do appreciate that. Leave some nostalgia for the anniversary stream. I think I'm going to fucking need to, Nibirin. But I expect... I don't even know. I'm going to have to, like, emotionally prepare myself. I'm going to have to emotionally prepare myself for the fact that that is going to be a thing. You know? Because, yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. That is the scenario. Right. Before I go any further, just a bit of a recap, friends. As the games are going to be changing, the way that we do gaming on this stream is going to be changing in September. On Tuesdays, we are now going to be playing long games, like games that last longer than 4 weeks. So at the moment, we're playing Hollow Knight. And on Wednesdays, we're going to be doing short form games. So like ones that last up to 4, maximum 5 weeks. And then, so we've got a constant rollover of games on a Wednesday. Okay? So we'll do long form on Tuesday, short form on Wednesday. That is the plan. That is the plan as of September. I am also looking at niching down the type of games that we play. Not too much. I'm not going to be niching down beyond, like, I'm not going to be, like, turn around and say I'm never, ever going to play, like, a AAA game or anything like that. But I have found that the AAA games that exist never really grab me as much. But on top of that, I have found that people don't really want me to play AAA games. There's like a couple of them that are like in the thingy, but as soon as we start talking about them, people are like, not entirely bothered, not really bothered, doesn't really matter. Yeah, cool, whatever. So I'm thinking of just playing indie games. I'm thinking of just like basically just being an indie gamer. From like September onwards, we'll play a few indie games, see how it goes down and what have you. I'm not saying that I'm never ever gonna play like big games and bits and pieces, but I am saying that I'm thinking of like specializing a little bit, because in this chaotic world and very competitive world of content, you kind of need to specialize a little bit. And I feel like doing an indie game doing indie games kind of opens the doors for lots of different genres and lots of different stories. I feel like that's probably about as niche as I can get, because I want to be able to play loads of different things, and I feel like independent studios and stuff like that is pretty fun, you know? I know there's a bit to it, but for me personally, I love seeing you just enjoying yourself, and the games are just a bonus for a bit of adventure. Same. I really appreciate that, Mizuki. I really do appreciate that. Unfortunately, the numbers don't agree with you. Being honest about this is my business. This is my fucking livelihood. The numbers don't agree. That's basically what it comes down to. The reason why we're doing the like longer games on one day and shorter games on the other day is because recently I've been playing Hollow Knight on a Tuesday and We Happy Few on a Wednesday, and they've both been going on for 12-13 weeks, and the numbers just people are not interested in watching them, or people certainly weren't interested in watching them. People still want me to play Hollow Knight, which I fucking love doing, so I've got no complaints doing it. But the fact of the matter is that I want to grow the channel. I don't want to stagnate. And I certainly for the past 8 months, 6 to 8 months, this year has felt very stagnant. It has felt like I've not done anything new. It doesn't feel like I've pushed myself and gone to like a higher level, even part of a higher level. And in accordance with the numbers, like I can literally show you. I've got no qualms like showing this information. This information is free to everybody, so you can literally see it. Like this is Twitch Tracker. This is my channel on Twitch Tracker, and my averages are way down. In January, I was averaging in the 80s, so it was like January 2022, the 80s, the 80s, the 80s, the 80s, 70s, 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 80s, 80s, 79, 68, 79, then 64, 59, 68, 53. It's on a downward trend. It's on a downward trend. And I don't hyper focus on the numbers by any stretch of the imagination, but I look for trends. This is all grand, because even when you've got like a down day and stuff like that, you're still building, you're still going upwards, you know what I mean? Then here I sort of like stagnated a little while and just thingies, and now I'm on a downwards trend. And I fully understand. I understand the industry. I understand the way it works. I understand that the world has opened up and people are doing more things. And people, especially in summer, people are going out more and doing more bits and pieces around and what have you. And that's grand. But that doesn't make me feel good about myself. That doesn't make me feel good about what I am doing. And I need to change things and experiment and try new things in order to feel like I am doing something to try and better myself, to try and better the stream, to try and make things better. Because the fact of the matter is, if I don't do that, then I just get really glum about streaming. You know, I just end up getting really fucking sad about streaming and wonder why I do it. And I love doing it. I love being here. I love the community that we have. I genuinely love all of the things about streaming, but I also like to feel like I'm going somewhere. There are many, 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 many streamers out there. There are hundreds and hundreds of streamers out there that are happy with just streaming. They're happy with just playing the games. There's some amazing, amazing content creators who have like really fucking good days where they get hundreds and hundreds of people, and really bad days where they get like 40s, 50s people. And that's not a bad number by any stretch of imagination, but in relation, it is like quite the roller coaster. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm one of the streamers that likes to, like, I like to do a project that is going somewhere. Anything that I do in my life has to have a next level, a next level, a next level. What is the next thing? I don't mind stagnation. I don't mind having a downward turn if it is followed by an upward turn. And that's where I'm at the moment, is like, I love streaming. That's great. But at the moment, it's on a downward trend. So what do I do to try and stop that? I ask the community what they would like, what kind of things they're into, what bits and pieces, and people do turn around and say, I love you seeing you play stuff that you genuinely enjoy, and I'm like, that's amazing. I genuinely enjoy a large variety of games that people have no fucking interest in. They just don't care about. It's the unfortunate truth about it, you know? The extra bit there is the joys of variety. Is some things are up and some things are down. Just jiggle to try and figure out. Oh, 100% Misuki. And this is the thing. Like, I love being part of the Octopus and Dragon team because of the fact that it's a group of streamers that all have similar sort of drives. Not necessarily drives in themselves, but drives in the industry. And they all want to push on and do new things and do bits and pieces and what have you. There's always stuff going on there. And they're always talking to improve themselves, improve each other, and bits and pieces. And I love doing that. But like, there's some streamers that I've been speaking to that are significantly bigger than me. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're getting 4 to 5 times the amount of viewers that I am, and they are talking about niching down because they have noticed a stagnation. They're like, my numbers are not growing, my income is not growing, nothing is growing, and I need to grow. I need to even have a slight push in a certain direction. And I'm like, cool. Why do you feel like niching down is that way? And then we've had a big conversation about the fact that the vast majority of people end up having to find a niche of things. Misuki, you're a perfect example. Your niche is horror games. You play entire series of horror games, but your niche is horror games, and people know that they can come to you to play interesting horror games, you know? And it's perfect. It works great for you. You are a fantastic example of that happening, you know? But I'm like, okay, I play a million, billion, trillion different games that are so many different people's likes and dislikes. Some of the games, like a lot of the comments that I got on the anonymous feedback form were around the games. People were like, oh, I love your gaming. Oh, I hate your gaming. But then there was people being like, some of the games you play bore me to fucking tears. And I just don't come in for those streams. And I'm like, yeah, 100% fully get it and what have you. But I'm also like, is that, like, there's the part of my mind that's like, is that the reason why my numbers have been going down? Because the games that I've been playing just don't appeal to the vast majority of my audience. It's a possibility. It's not something I'm ever gonna know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna find that out. But the only way that I can try and combat that kind of dynamic is by trying new things, trying to niche down, see if that really helps. You know, that kind of stuff. I'm in love with this song. It's very Panic at the Disco. The last one, yeah, that's one pretty good. As always, I'm sure you already know, if you ever want to discuss some games that I found quite a joy to play, others seem to enjoy the journey of, I'm always here to chat. Thank you very much for that, Misuki. I really do appreciate that. This is the thing, though. I have because of how diverse our community is, and I fucking love how diverse our community is, but because of how diverse our community is, I have like 2 groups of people within our community in regards to games. We have people that love the beautiful stuff, the really chill, the really mellow, the really beautiful games that have a lot of organization, like puzzles and bits and pieces. And then we have the people that really love the horror games. And I love both. I do love both. But there's a lot, I see a big group of people, as soon as we start playing something to do with horror, they're like, I'm out. And no judgment against them. They're fucking sweet. They do what they need to do for their own spoons. And I will always respect that. But it's like, I play a horror game, they're like, cool, I'm out. I play a cute game and get on the other side being like, yeah, I'm out, I'm good. There are people that cover both circles 100%, but they are things that I consider as part of my business at the end of the day. Part of my life, partly, not only part of my livelihood, but also part of my life. I fucking love content creation. I can't stress this enough. I fucking love this industry. I love this work. I love doing what I do. And the community is a massive, massive part of that. Massive part of that. You know? But I have to view things from all angles. Because if I don't view things from all angles, then I am going to miss stuff. You know? I understand what you're saying, and I know the feeling with it. I appreciate it, Unicom Mom. I haven't seen you play any games yet, but I'm excited to watch you play Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's been great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Hollow Knight was one of those games that I genuinely did not think I would enjoy. I did not think I would enjoy it. I was like, this isn't the game for me. It's like Ori and the Blind Forest. It's a very aesthetically beautiful game, but it's not for... I fucking love it. Absolutely fucking love it. Really, really enjoy it. How's it going, Donna? How you doing, you beautiful being? Doing all right, thank you very much. I had a great fucking stream tonight. I really, really enjoyed the conversations we've been having, you know? Definitely asking the right questions as an entertainer and a host. I fully relate to everything you're saying. Yeah. And this is the thing, like, I don't mind having these conversations, like, on stream. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's a me worry, not a community worry. But I'm like, do you know what? Let the community know where I'm at. Let the community know what kind of things that are playing on in my mind. Let the community know the things that worry me, the things that unnerve me, the issues that I have. That I'm also very, very well aware. There's also the partner dip, which is when you become a partner. People are like, you've made it now, and they go on and watch other people. There's also the fact that my content has changed massively over the past 5 years, and people are not interested in the stuff that I do anymore, which is also perfectly legit. There's also a large, it seems a significant amount of people, not a large amount of people, but a significant amount of people that are super fucked off at the fact that I am successful. And I am successful as a streamer, but I like super pissed off about the fact that I am successful and that I've done well for myself, and don't like the fact that things have changed and just think I'm a massive sellout. If I was a massive sellout, I wouldn't be worrying about fucking cash every month, but you know what I mean? Like, there's so many different types of people, and they're all completely valid in and of themselves, but it just gives me lots to think about when it comes to the world of content creation and balancing. It's very difficult sometimes to balance what people want to watch with people pleasing. Being poor as a sellout is very valid. I to be honest with you, yeah, like I wish I was a sellout, Samurai Afro, because I genuinely, I said it like yesterday. I said it. Was it yesterday? Was it Monday? Maybe. No, I think it was yesterday. I think it was like yesterday. If I was gonna sell out, I know exactly what I would do. I know exactly what I'd do. I'd stop talking about sex, and I would stop asking companies questions.
Ooh, you little stalker.
Thank you very much for the follow, you beautiful being. I recognize that name. Welcome on in, you beautiful being. Welcome on in. I would, like, the two things that I would stop doing, I'd stop talking about sex, and I'd stop asking questions of companies. I would stop asking the companies, being like, hey, you want to sponsor me? That's great. What are your ethics? What are your core values as a company? Sell those Twitter vibrators from viral posts. But I want to know that they're from like a company that care about the environment. They care about sourcing their stuff from ethical sources, you know? That kind of stuff. Like, this is all really important shit to me, so that when I tell you about stuff, you trust what I'm saying. You're not just like, okay, cool, yeah, he's done it because he's getting cash. It would be an absolute piece of piss to make bank if I stopped asking questions to corporations, and I stopped talking about the fucking big passion that I have, you know? Trying to keep a roof over your head so you can continue to entertain us. Funding party streams, about to rally up the community together for a stream of chaos. Ensuring the brands you work with adhere to your values. Thoughtful to the community interest too. God blimey, worst guy, right? Right? Yeah. And there's definitely, I will say that there's definitely, I'm aware of the fact that there's definitely going to be people out there that call me a sellout because they know it gets to me. They know it gets to me. Do you know what I mean? They're like, you're a sellout because they know it's going to fucking get right under my skin really quick. Because if I was a sellout, my life would be so much fucking easier. But it's not, because I've got ethics and I've got morals and there's things that I will not do. You know how it is. But anyway, that's by and by. That is all by and by the point. The fact of the matter is that there is a fine balance as a content creator, especially as like what I consider myself to be like a mid-level content creator. Because I'm fucking nowhere near the top, but I am doing all right for myself as a content creator. Excuse me. As a mid-level content creator, I've got burps. There we go. As a mid-level content creator, there's like a fine balance between providing entertainment that people like to watch versus people pleasing. Being like, this is the shit that people like to watch versus I am doing everything that I can to make sure people watch me. And that fine balance is kind of where I'm at the moment, is being like, I want to do, this is the reason why we have so many votes. This is the reason why I put it to the community, being like, what are your opinions? What are your thoughts? Because I want to know your thoughts before I make my decision. I don't want to know your thoughts so that I can pander to everything that you ever say ever. I want to know your thoughts so that I can go, cool, now I have that information. What am I happy to do myself? What am I happy doing with myself? You know? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And it's frustrating, but I think it's probably a process that the vast majority of content creators eventually go through. Especially if you're a professional content creator and you're doing it as a career and you're doing it as a business of art, you will come to this point at some stage. Whether it be early in your career when you're hitting, and when I say early, I mean metrics wise, I don't mean time wise. When you're hitting like 10 to 20 viewers and you're like, okay, like what do I do to keep those viewers around? Or whether it's later in your career and you're like, okay, I've had a big growth spurt, it's all fun and dandy, and then you're like, okay, how do I keep those people? One or other. You will eventually get to a point where you're like, do you know what? I need to balance what I want versus what people will come and see me play. You know? Because there's an awful lot of people that are massively encouraging, massively encouraging, who are like, we want to see you play, like you said earlier, Misuki, is like, we want to see you play stuff that you enjoy playing because we enjoy watching you play these games. And I'm like, I love this because I'm the same. I come to Misuki's stream because I want to see Misuki play a game. The game doesn't really fucking matter. I like seeing Misuki. I like seeing like Dapper Dame. I like seeing Zeke. I like seeing so many of these different creators because it's them, not necessarily the game, you know? And there's an awful lot of people in this community that come to this stream because it's me, not because of the game that I'm playing, which is amazing and fucking heartfelt, and it really touches me right deep in my little soul place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you subscribed. Most kind.
Just popped in to complain about this damn button that keeps interrupting me before I forget and head to bed. Night night, you glorious beast and chat.
Kojo going in for the 29 months. The 29 months is beautiful. I love Misuki's Dead Space squeaks. Yeah, 100%. 100%. What was I even saying? Now you've distracted me, Kojo, you cheeky devil. You've distracted me. I shall now inscribe your name on the mirror of Vane. By having your name on the mirror of Vane, it means you get access to my personal Snapchat. Not a bum Snapchat, you cheeky devil. And of course you get access to all the sexy little emotes. But the most important thing is you'll roll over every morning, look in the mirror. Oh God, I look rough. But god damn, do I make rough look good. Ooh, hurrah, sexy. Oh, yes, meow. You know? What was I saying? The balance is definitely where I've hit now. Can't remember what I was saying now. Doesn't matter. Evidently not important. And think you discussing this stuff is proof of a different attitude on your part. It's just being aware of stuff, to be honest with you, Samurai. There's people that don't need to make this effort. There's loads of people that don't need to make this effort. But oh yeah, like watching people fall people. That's what I was talking about. Like there are definitely people in this community that come and watch because of me, because it's really heartfelt and what have you. But there's an awful lot of people who will be like, play whatever you want. We are coming to see you play games because we want to watch you. And then when I do play whatever I want, they don't turn up. And maybe that's because they've got a million things going on in their lives. And that is entirely fair. That is legitimately. But when the only information that I am getting is the fact that my numbers are down, the only information I can base my opinions off is the fact that I'm playing what I want and it's not making people happy. It's not bringing, it's not entertaining enough for people. Because that's the information that I fucking get. You know what I mean? That's the information that I get. So that's the only information that I can draw conclusions from. I can logically in my mind be like, well, these people have fucking lives. They will go off and do things with their lives, especially at the moment, because it's the middle of fucking summer. Do you know what I mean? There's all of those things that I'm definitely very consciously aware of, but I'm also like, okay, so what can I do to balance all of that a little bit, you know? Which is the reason why we do so many things that involve the community. All the games we play are community recommended. All the games we play are community voted. Like, we do votes on how we play, like how we're going to structure the game streams that we have. We do votes on the topics of conversation. We do votes on like all of the input that we have for the party streams. There's so much stuff that we do within the community, and I love doing stuff like that. I love doing stuff like that because it becomes a community stream. It becomes part of things that you people want to see, and it's great to see. You know what I mean? But I am constantly thinking, how do I turn this downward trend back up again? That is like an ongoing thing that I am super, super conscious of. You know? This is why I often put Ooks or DD on. I need a good background content because their voices and vibes I need. Games are just a bonus. Yeah, 100%. I get it. I get it entirely. It's one of the reasons why I'm super happy that like streamers like Swordmouse are back. Because Swordmouse, I find a phenomenal content creator, but a lot of it comes down to his voice. His voice is just super chill and soothing, and the games that he plays, he makes chill because of the way. Like, he'll play 7 Days to Die or something like that, and it's just like, this is a wildly violent thing, but he's just like, yeah, we'll just look over here and check out this stuff. Yeah, we'll do these things. Okay, yeah, we've got a raid in here. Baron Vane, oh, you charmer. I'm like, excuse me, hello? You know, it's just chill and relaxing. And I watch it because he's the streamer. You know? Can I type the name in chat? Yeah, Swordmouse. In fact, you know what? I'll give him a shout out. He took a massive, this is a glorious individual. Took a massive break off stream. Like, he took a huge time away from streaming and has just come back to streaming, and he's been playing a bit of 7 Days to Die here and there and stuff like that, but yeah, his fucking voice is like liquid gold. It's wild. Do you know what I mean? Wild. But yeah, anyway, that's the point. And I would like to point out this isn't a rant. This is not me complaining. This is me just stating the way things are and the things that I have to consider when considering my content, you know? So, long story short, as of September, we are going to be doing a long game on... We're playing Hollow Knight at the moment on on Tuesdays, and then on Wednesdays we're going to do a vote for the next short form game. Do the vote for the next short form game, short one, do you know what I mean? How's it going, that fat rat? Welcome on in. I fucking love your name. I've got an imagining of like a villain from Danger Mouse. There's like a rat in like a pinstripe suit with a big cigar and a golden tooth. How's it going, Sam? God, I'm gonna get that Danger Mouse if he ain't careful. That's what's envisioning in my mind right now. That's what's envisioning in my mind right now. But I hope you're doing well. Welcome on in. How you doing? I wish I was here long ago enough that I would have seen your Alien Isolation playthrough. I enjoy seeing how people tense up with it because I know I'd probably be worse. Oh, Alien Isolation is, to this day, Ginger Bay, to this day, one of, if not the best game that I have ever played. I fucking loved it. It was so good. It captures the atmosphere of the first and second Alien movies perfectly. Fucking mwah. Perfectly. So good, honestly. You know? I'm really, really gutted that I didn't like highlight those VODs because of that exact reason, Gingerbread. Just I think it was the second ever game we played on stream. So we're talking 5 years ago now, you know? Although saying that, maybe I could revisit. It's been a long time. But I've never really revisited a game before. But it's been a long time since I've played it. But it was fucking perfect. So good. So fucking good. You know? You're very welcome. Went there, dropped a follow. Some people joined and he seemed very pleased. Is he online now? Oh, cool. Yeah. Saltmouse is great. Saltmouse is fantastic. I was going to say I'd love to see you revisit. It would be a nice change up to see how you'd explore that world. Yeah. It'd be interesting to revisit it as well from someone who kind of remembers what is going on. Do you know what I mean? There's a new Alien game that came out in June. Yeah, that was like a marine one, though. I didn't like that one. Didn't have too much atmosphere. I saw a couple of other people play it, and I understand why people like it, but it just wasn't. It wasn't. It didn't grab me the same way. It didn't have any atmosphere. The great thing about Alien Isolation is the fact that it's oh my god. Oh, snooze. Fine. Right. The great thing about Alien Isolation is the fact that it absolutely captures the atmosphere, that unnerving, freaky deaky atmosphere, the alien, like, creepy thriller, always on the edge of your seat. Oh my fucking god, are they gonna find me? This is terrifying. It could pop out of nowhere. It really captures all that stuff. Whereas the Marine game that I found was just like, there's loads of them, shoot them all, ah! You know? Is it very scary? Have you seen the Alien movie, Samurai Afro? Have you seen either of the Alien movies? Any of the Alien movies? Perchance? Speaking of which, do you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do the thing. Friends, Duacroma is out tomorrow. Suspenseful is the word I'd use. Yeah, I wouldn't call it thingies. Duacroma is out tomorrow, friends. Duacroma is an alien TTRPG show that I was a part of. And the next episode should have been lined up. Oh, no, they're having a bit of a break at the moment. It's not out tomorrow. They're having a bit of a break at the moment. Shit, never mind. Doesn't matter. Well, this YouTube channel that I've thrown out there, that YouTube channel is The Wandering Inn. And we are halfway through the Duacroma Outlook series, which is an alien TTRPG show, and I fucking love it. It's in two parts. There's the scientists and the Marines, and we are on episode 6, and they're having a bit of a break between this and releasing the next 6 episodes. But yeah. How many episodes does Duacroma have in total? 12, I believe. I believe it's 12. 6 of the scientists and 6 of the Marines. So I believe it's 12. And yeah, they've done 3 of the scientists and 3 of the Marines, and then they're going to have a bit of a break just while I think Sheepy's moving. The person who runs the channel is moving house. And then they will be back with more of that stuff. But that's great. That's really, again, really suspenseful and really like intense and stuff. It's great. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's great. Yeah, suspenseful is a good word. I've seen the first one and maybe Prometheus. I'm bad with jump scares, but you kind of sold the game. I what I would say you do, Samurai Afro, is check out somebody else playing it for a bit. If you're talking about like playing it yourself, I feel like it's one of those games that is great to play. Like, it's great to watch other people play and not necessarily play it yourself. If you like jump scares, if you don't like jump scares and stuff like that, watch somebody else play it because it'll be their reaction that you jump upon, you know? You're feeling better. I like being here to get the brain juices flowing and just vibing. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do. Like, friends, just the fact that people turn up. Just the fact that people turn up to this stream. I never have my viewer numbers on because I don't like to, like, I end up focusing on them too much. And it was in the early days that I turned off, like, literally within the first, like, 2 months of me streaming, I turned off viewer numbers because I focused on them too much. I was like, oh my God, how do I get more viewers? I've only got these many viewers. How do I get more viewers? How do I get more viewers? And I was just like, no, I need to stop doing this. So I turned viewer numbers off, and I just am so fucking happy that people turn up and chat to me and have a good time with me and lurk in my streams and like chill out and play games and get enthusiastic about the games and get excited about the different bits and pieces. Like all this stuff that people do that I'm just like, yeah, just like super excited about, you know? We all know your viewer numbers are always at 69 anyway. Exactly, right? They're always at 69. I don't know how I managed to get partner. Partner's like an average of 75 viewers, but I'm always at 69. Always at 69. You know? Jesus. That's perpetual. That is the perpetual nature of it all, you know? Which was funny because it used to be a scenario where people would come in and be like, oh my God, you're at 69 viewers. Yay. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. Obviously, we're all at 69 viewers. Always. Perpetually and always. Like, what do you want from me? Do you know what I mean? What do you want from me? Well, that's interesting. But I'll deal with that later. So, yeah. So, anyway, I think what we're going to do... don't forget, friends, give me a heads up. This Sunday, the 20th of August, we have got our movie night on. At 8 p.m. BST in the Discord. We are going to be watching Minority Report. We're going to be watching Minority Report, 8 p.m. BST in the Discord. Then next week, I have got a show on Wednesday. Thank you very much, Nibrid. Next week, I've got a show on Wednesday, which means I will be streaming later than usual, and it will be a short stream. And then next weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, I am going away with McSteffels. We're going on holiday together. So... just giving you a heads up on that's going to be happening, which means I'm going to be away today. I'm away the 28th and 29th of August, and I'll be back on the 30th. But what I think we're going to do is on the 23rd, the stream that I do after I finish doing the gig on Wednesday the 23rd, that little stream, we will probably do a game vote to find out what game we are going to be playing when I come back on the 30th of August. Okay? That's the plan. So, 23rd of August, we will do the vote for what game we're going to play on the 30th, from the 30th of August onwards. Okay? Busy, 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 busy. Perpetually and forever, always busy, you know? Can't wait. Honestly, it's going to be so good, McDevils. Just to fucking get away from everything for a bit. You know? You deserve it. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? Think you know what I want? Alien Isolation? Or Happy Humble's Burger Farm? Valtober. All that, yes. Yeah. Happy Humble's Burger Farm. I know. What I need to do is I need to go through all of the list and be like, right, okay, we are going to do... we're going to do this and this and this. And go through and work out what the hours played are. Or the play hours, the average game hours it takes to play something, you know? Anyway, friends. Anyway, that's a future problem for future me. Friends, we're going to go raid somebody. We're going to go and raid somebody. I think, do you know what? We're going to do No. We're not. We're not. Do you know, fuck it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Friends, we're going to go raid somebody. Before we go raid somebody, could you do me a massive favor and throw out some mod loves in the channel? You can use any kind of mod loves from any kind of channel. You can use any kind of love hearts from any kind of channel. Say a massive thank you to those wonderful moderators. Moderators, thank you so much for all that you do. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for all of the things you do inside and out of the stream. You beautiful, beautiful individuals. You beautiful, beautiful, beautiful individuals. I really, really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you helping me out in so many ways. In so many ways, friends. I think what we're going to do is we're going to raid over to... Because I talked about them before, and I bigged them up, and I talked about their sultry tones. And I know that we raided them, like, last week or what have you, but I feel like raiding them this week is a completely valid choice. Do you know what I mean? I feel like raiding them this week is a completely valid choice. So, friends... If you're a subscriber, please copy and paste the first raid message. If you are not a subscriber, please copy and paste the second raid message. That's the first bot of vanity raid message for subscribers. The second bot of vanity raid message for non-subscribers. We are going to raid the glorious individual that I shouted out a moment ago. With the sultry tones, the smooth, silky voice that they have. The glorious Swordmouse. We raided him last week, but he's just back to streaming as well. So it's nice to go and throw in some love. And like I said, he's got really, really silky voice. Really silky, smooth tones, which I'm going to go and take you all over to see. If you are not in the raid up here, could you do me a massive, massive favor? Ooh. If you're not in the raid up here, please, 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 please click on the link that I have just thrown out there, because Twitch do be twitching sometimes and doesn't like to take everybody over with us. So if you're not in the raid up here, please click on the link down there. We will all go over and throw some love at Swordmouse together. Friends, thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much for the raids, the subs, the gift subs, all the cheeky little bitties. Thank you so much for the throne donations, you cheeky devils. You cheeky individuals. Thank you so much for buying me shit off my throne wishlist. That was far too fucking kind. Thank you so much for the follows, and thanks so much for just spending your time here and listening to my fucking idle ramblings. I really appreciate it, alright? Thanks so much for a glorious evening. Amazing always, you cheeky devils. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let's go throw some love at Swordmouse. Friends, I will be back on Monday at 7 PM BST, 7 PM British time, where we'll be chatting some more shit. More than likely. I'm thinking about putting some more structure into my Just Chatting streams, but I will get to that at another point, alright? Until then, friends, don't do anything I wouldn't do, because if I wouldn't do it, I'd fucking kill you. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye-bye-bye.
Gonna be my little